Are none of you guys scared? I don't know how this works because of what happened with Poke and shit. None of you guys are scared of like listening to like new albums on stream that it's gonna get like DMCA'd or some shit.
Oh.
Ooh, actually, there is a big thing I would love to talk about here. I don't mean to derail the entire topic list, but because you brought up a very relevant thing now, I heard there's a new meta now where people are making all their VODs sub only.
Yeah,
that way the DMCA, cuck lords can't come in and like
look at the VODs.
Yeah. Is this like y'all heard about this yet, or is this like
and it should work too, like in theory.
Yeah, unless of course, like, I mean, you got a coordinated sub train with a bunch of fucking douchebags wanting to just get you like that. But in general, I think it would make you safe. And even then, you get, if they want to pay to fuck with you, whatever.
I mean, as long as you're not getting DMCA'd live, so like when we're watching like the dem debates or some shit, like that's
exactly. Yeah, that was. I still think that was some bullshit. Like I saw it coming a mile off. That's why I didn't stream the debates myself, because it was so obvious what fucking, CNN were on a tear with that bullshit. But the reality is, I think for those albums, if you listen to music, I mean, I just don't listen to music on stream anyway. I don't risk it, but everyone else has said like putting it sub only is the way to play.
So does sub only mode stop? Does sub only mode stop like those bots of the companies to like go through the video? Is that the purpose?
Unless the bot is subbed, yeah, it shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, they'd have to like literally like manually give the bot in question or the bot account, a subscription to you to even access them.
Interesting.
No way around that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think they're gonna pay money to like just go in and do automated enforcing of no human involved mass tagging of bullshit.
Yeah.
But you bring up a valid point though. Yeah, I opted to not listen to the Chance the Rapper album on launch week because I was kind of scared about that. I don't know why I didn't think about it for the Kanye West album. I just thought, I want to do it because I want to do it. But you're right, I actually shouldn't have done that, honestly. That is scary to do.
It sounds like it's going to become something that's going to be less of a thing to worry about. Like if Twitch heads in the direction they're talking about with its Twitch Prime thing, where it's like you can do Prime viewers, for like TV shows and stuff.
How does that work though? Is it only Twitch Prime subs?
I mean, Devin will know more about this, but like what they put out there was basically if you've got a sub, they got Prime, right? And you go like, they're going to give you a special mode, like kind of like sub only, and you go in and then you can basically watch. It might be new shows that Amazon have made themselves, or it might be anything in the Amazon Prime catalog. That's not really been stipulated yet. And then you can sit there and do like a viewing party with your stream. So it would stand to reason that would extend to music as well, right? So that'd be cool.
Correct, but I do want to clarify it. You don't have to be a subscriber of the stream doing it. You just have to have Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you just got Prime.
You buy a subscription, you have access to the Amazon Prime video library. So
can I say one thing?
They made it pretty simple,
dude. All those. So I think on this very podcast we trash talked, or at least I did with a lot of other people. We trash talked those pre-roll ads of Jack Ryan just going around everywhere. I have to say, I actually gave Jack Ryan a chance, and I am so fucking happy. It is such a good fucking show. The reason I shit talked it,
that's so funny, dude.
Listen, the reason I shit talked it is because like the main character that's supposed to be a badass operative is from The Office. Like it's such a hard transition for me. So I clowned it. I watched it. It's amazing, and I even followed it. And they actually released it one day early. It released tonight for their Halloween trick or treat special. It's supposed to release tomorrow, so I'm pretty excited to go watch that. But yeah, it ended up being actually fucking awesome. And that's not an ad, by the way. It's real.
This is like. It's like a what kind of? It's like a 24 type show.
Yeah, something like that, like a CIA type like thing. Yeah, something like that.
Dude, I love shit like that.
Yes.
Yo, do you watch anime?
There's some anime that's good, but
he would, but he's not a pedophile.
My man. Hey.
So anyone who watches anime is a pedophile.
Starting the takes.
That's what Train said.
I said weebs.
What?
No.
That's one of
I said weebs. I said weebs, and by weebs, let me explain my definition of them, okay? By weebs, I mean like if you're getting a like 14-year-old character on a pillow and you're cuddling that pillow and calling the pillow your waifu, I think you're a pedo. Now, if you get a pillow just to frame it in the back of your room on a closet, I think it's completely fine. It's a favorite character. You put it in the back. Like I would have a basketball player on my wall. That's not a problem.
So what's the difference between a body pillow and then someone like Soda Pop and having a sex doll?
Yeah, that sex doll is realistically fucking weird. The only thing is Chance has the personality where like he gets away with it, right? It's like, oh, whatever. Like, it's Chance, right? But realistically, having a sex doll is fucking weird. Like, it's a fact. Anyone who has a sex doll, that's just weird.
So are they pedophiles too, then?
How is that a pedophile? The doll has no age.
How is a weeb a pedophile? Well, in the anime, the girls are usually hundreds of years old, so...
Oh no, Michaela! Wait, how did you just wander right into the pedo territory? Holy shit!
According to Wikipedia, there's certain women that are thousands of years old. And they may look like
they just
they're
inhabit
12,
the body of a child, so it's all
yes,
right, yeah?
Yes, so it's all right.
Come on.
It's okay.
Come on.
Yeah, it's
There's
okay.
got to be limits.
Well,
Oh no!
I feel okay, honestly. As long as the age is on Google, I
Oh
feel
no!
fine.
What happened?
You won the debate. The analytic philosophy just.
Hey, it came through. What can I say, dude?
Wait, before you go, I think it's really important also to bring up here, like, two things here. One, do we have a date for when the Amazon Prime video?
I don't think it's been announced yet.
Happens?
No.
There's
It's
no
only been loosely teased. And they're going to do a limited run like they did with the bounty board. So
Okay.
It'll be beta
I think
first.
that
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then two, friendly reminder, by the way, that when I last checked 2 months ago, like, at least 9 seasons of SpongeBob are on Amazon Prime Video, by the way.
Oof.
So if you're like not sure where to start, I mean, you can throw on any of the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob, and you're guaranteed to get people in there and want to watch it with you. So just giving y'all the heads up here, giving y'all Trike's the secret sauce. You can just do that and make easy content happen. Easy. So,
There's some good shit on Amazon Prime, dude. Like
There
that would
is
actually be a lot of content. If
Rush
that,
Hour 1 and 2 are on Prime.
Mm.
Oh, fuck, what else did I find the other day? Because I did a flight, like, I don't know, I flew to somewhere, whatever, at some point this summer, and I was like, okay, Netflix, I've tapped or downloaded stuff. Let me go to Amazon Prime Video. I always forget I have this shit here. Let me see what I can pop up on my downloads on my iPad before I hop on the flight.
dude, I've been
Sorry.
using a Switch on the airplane, and it's like time flies. It's so great. I'm playing the Lynx game, the Lynx new game, Lynx Awakening, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, super good.
Is that your
fun.
first time finally having the Switch experience where you're finally away from the house
Yeah.
and actually bother to, like, do it?
Yeah, and it's like a full mobile experience. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. We were
That's
just talking offline I was just talking with Trihex about the Ring. Have you guys seen that? They came out for the Switch.
Yeah, have y'all seen this?
Yeah, there it is.
The Ring Fit
What?
Adventure. You take the 2 Joy-Cons.
Oh.
One wraps around your left thigh, like, you know, kind of like like a bride or whatever, and then you hold the ring, and it can both squeeze and pull. Whew, man, this thing is intense, y'all.
That looks so
What is it?
cool.
Okay, so I wasn't like looking at it. It sounds like you just described like a masturbation toy. What exactly does this do? It squeezes and pulls what?
So obviously both Joy-Cons have accelerometers and gyroscopes. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna you take this and you would wrap it around your leg, and so it's able to like compare where that is in position whenever you're holding the ring. So you can do crunches, you can do you can work out your shoulders, you can work out your arms, you can do all this stuff here. You can jog in place because it's keeping track of your leg position. And so there's like over 50 exercises you can do involving the positioning of the 2 Joy-Cons, and it's really intense.
It was cool how you actually run with it and stuff too. Like he plays like this. It looked like an RPG kind of where you like fight monsters by doing exercises, and it seemed to be because you had a heart rate monitor connected, right? And you were getting into it for a while. It seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm routinely like the 110s or higher when doing this thing, and it's no joke, dude. It's intense. It's not like Wii Fit. I don't even think Wii Fit's more like can you balance on a board kind of thing and like interact. This is actually like you have to do exercises, like, because when you're doing the battles, which you are fighting like an enemy every level essentially, every battle is like, you're going to do 100 crunches, you're going to do 100 push-ups, you're going to do 100 squats. Like when you're playing on the hardest difficulty, like my chat's begging me to do, like I'm getting destroyed, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, I discarded.
Ooh,
real quick.
fuck.
I've never had a Switch before. Are they worth it? Like in general?
Yeah,
Just
they're pretty
If you got spare time, and especially if you travel, definitely. Like I picked one up. I didn't think I was going to get one because, but I do quite a bit more traveling than I used to now, and it's like a couple of hours on fucking Fire Emblem. Like that's my jam, man. That's fucking sick.
Do you enjoy mobile games? Because if you find that your mobile gaming is rooted in compromise because of like the touch screen controls kind of limit what kind of games you can play, the Switch will address that big time because you can actually just play console level gaming on the go whenever you choose.
cool.
It's such a good way to like use time. I feel like when you're on like a plane, you just everything like time just disappears. Like you don't get bored whatsoever. It's really neat.
Okay, maybe I'll get one.
I mean, to give you an idea, the damn thing hasn't dropped in price and it's been out for 2 years now. So obviously, there's like a lot of demand for its supply.
Yeah, it just went past fucking almost like 42 million sales.
Yeah, it's actually under 1 mil away from eclipsing the Xbox One in total lifetime sales.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's actually crazy.
That is.
Yeah, and keep on, Xbox One came out like 2013.
Yeah.
So is it like a DS in the sense, just bigger or something? Like the Nintendo DS?
It acts as like a full console, but you can just unplug it and it becomes like a DS type thing. It's a little bit bigger. So like you can put it into this like, and it's so weird how Nintendo does like things like so janky. Like the little plastic enclosure it comes in just feels kind of janky. But when you actually like pull it out, it just becomes like a handheld set.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool
I don't know
concept.
how I didn't know about that.
It just kind of sucks that like one of the big problems with Nintendo is just they don't really have any good franchises, I think. So it's kind of hard to find stuff to play.
Well, don't they have a lot of good games out now? And there's like some like really good RPGs. Like there's My Time in Portia, right? Was one, and then there's like
I was about to say, hang on now. I don't know if I agree with that at all. That was a bad
Really?
faith right there. Shut up. You know better.
Wait, what?
You said there was no good franchise. That was such a bad faith accusation. Get out of here.
Well, Destiny said that. I said there was. Yeah.
Okay, so with all this stuff going on with Mixer, to kind of move into this, Doc insinuated that he's getting paid by Twitch to stay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this. So a lot of you on this platform are staples to the community. You've been here for years and years. You have huge communities. Destiny being one of the biggest. Trihex, you as well. You're the face of Twitch.
Squad. My lawyer's not present right now. Can we just can I mute out for like 5 minutes here? My lawyer's not present. I don't feel like talking about this right now, I'm afraid.
Oh, damn. Are you? Oh, okay. In that case.
I'm fucking with you, dude.
Okay.
Did you say everyone here has big communities?
No, I'm saying like I was referring to Destiny and Trihex for being here for so long, right? You know,
okay.
I have a decent sized community, but like compared to Destiny, like I haven't been here as long. So for things like this, like, do you guys feel like you're undervalued or underappreciated? Or like, how do you justify not getting any deals like other streamers do? Like, for example, Pokemon
Wait, I thought, don't you have like the biggest community here?
Yeah, but I haven't been here as long as you, right? I'm talking
but
like
still, like I'm looking up your numbers and now you get 2.9 million fucking viewers. Oh fuck! I was looking up Kitchen Nightmares. I'm sorry. Never mind. Okay, keep going.
See, this is why.
This is rough.
You want to know? Oh, hey, actually, I thought this story wasn't relevant, but it's kind of relevant now. One of the reasons. Do you remember Own.tv?
Yeah.
Train?
Yes.
Did you ever
yes,
hear
I
about that
did.
site?
I did.
This
yeah.
is actually one of the reasons why I transitioned a long time ago was because Twitch was paying like very low CPMs and they weren't paying like cash offers to anybody. And Own came by and they basically made like a really good offer. And then Twitch stepped up to match it. And it actually left a really bad taste in my mouth because I'm like, well, hold on. Well, if I was worth this much the whole time, I've basically just been getting taken for a ride until another company shows up and like makes an offer. Well, fuck. Well, now I kind of feel like I was getting fucked. And that was actually one of the reasons why I decided to go with Own. So it'll be interesting now to see if Twitch starts coming out with offers now that other companies are trying to buy you up. And I'm super curious, like, how does that play in your mind? You know, I'm a little older now, so everything's differently. But like, how would you feel like if Mixer came out with like, hey, by the way, we want to offer you $15,000 a month to switch. You know, that's a random figure. For some of you, that's too low. For some of you, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
But how would you feel if Twitch just stepped up to like, oh, hold on, we'll just pay you that, no problem, every month from now on? Like, is it like, okay, cool, like my shit got boosted because of competition, or is it like, whoa, well, fuck? I feel like I kind of got fucked the whole time. I don't know.
I feel like, I mean, before I answer that question directly, I feel like I understand I'm not, you know, brand friendly to like contemporary ways or whatever the fuck the wording is, but it just feels weird sitting here and like grinding, you know, putting in, you know, a lot of hours, you know, growing the community. And at the end of the day, like I get this vibe from Twitch. It's like, listen, like, you know, it's like a vibe of like, you're lucky to be here. You owe us everything. And then whereas other streamers, it's like, please stay, please be here. And it's like, it's this weirdness. It's like, if it's going to be that vibe toward me, because I'm not brand friendly, then I think for someone like me, if they don't want to fully own me and be proud that I'm here, then cut my exclusivity. Like, you can't have it both ways where you want the exclusivity to have me here and at the same time say, hey, you know, you're on our platform, but we're going to kind of ignore you because we don't want to represent you. We don't want you representing us. but you're exclusive to us only. It just feels like this weird, like greedy, just disgusting, filthy fucking ideology. And it's like, listen, if you're not proud to have me here, at least cut my exclusivity so I can show you what I can do to make you proud. And that really just upsets me because I just see all these streamers that, like, yes, they're PG-13, but I know them off stream. None of it's fucking real. I mean, good for them. They're ruthless business people. Great. But there needs to be a give and take. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, the only reason that they have that exclusivity is because they can get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really interesting when there's more pressure on these platforms from all these mixer deals and all the stuff that's going on with YouTube and everything. If what they'll have to do to stay competitive.
I was talking about this on another podcast, right? Like, apparently there's a clause in some of the contracts. I don't know if it applies to everybody, but based on what's happening with the Phantom Lord thing, it probably is like just a blanket clause. But they got this thing where it's like, because your contract automatically renews at the end of every year that you're with Twitch. They were saying that if you leave partway through a contract to go take another deal, this is like what they told a lot of streamers now that Mixer and Caffeine, all these people offer now. If you leave partway through that year and you essentially break the contract that they haven't even talked to you about by, you just virtue of it being there because you're partnered, then if you ever come back to Twitch, they won't make you a partner again.
Wow.
So whether or not they do or don't make you a partner is going to be totally at their discretion. They have a right to partner you or not partner you, but I don't think it's part of your contract saying if you leave, you won't get partnership again. Now, you leaving for another platform and breaking that contract without giving them, it's a 30 to 90 day written notice for doing so, means that they would terminate your partnership, which is fair. You're violating your contract.
Sure.
But I mean, like, whether or not they would or wouldn't partner you ultimately is on them when you come back. It wouldn't surprise me if they would violate.
I think that what they're doing now at the moment, though, Steve, is they're like putting it out like almost like a leverage thing, like just to remind you, right? Like, if you do leave now, just remember we've been down this road many, many times, and it's a big cultural change. Because I remember when people were leaving to go to Azubu, and I remember asking people internal to Twitch then, like, hey, they're breaking their contracts to go to Azubu. They're breaking their contracts to go to YouTube. Why aren't you holding them accountable for that? Why aren't you taking them to court? Why aren't you suing them? Whatever. And they would be like saying, they'll be back. That company's going to go bust. Now, they ain't saying that for Mixer. They're saying, you better make the right choice because we ain't going to welcome you back with open arms this time around. And that's what feeds into this whole doc thing, right?
Unless you're big enough. Unless you're big enough. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. With offering money to Doc to stick around. They did offer, Ninja money, right? It wasn't like they didn't make him an offer. It just wasn't as big as what Mixer were going to get. And Ninja was pissed off with Twitch anyway because he thought they weren't treating him good enough.
I don't know, Devin, if you've heard about this. I don't know if any of this is true or not. I always hear whispers. And I don't know if you can comment on it. Aren't there some really large influencers that are being paid like a flat monthly fee to be on Twitch? That's been happening for a while, hasn't it? I've heard that.
I believe so.
I can't say for sure, but I'd say that it's a very good possibility.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Based on people I've talked to, I'm not going to drop names, but I believe so.
Is certain events that are thrown on Twitch are paid to stay on Twitch.
Well,
not
okay.
Oh yeah, that's always been true. Yeah, and
here's one we can talk about. So Nick from YouTube, Nick AO. So he was absolutely offered, right, and that was pretty open. So there's an example of someone that was offered like to be paid to be on Twitch, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Nick AO 30.
Oh, I share. I actually
the guy that like.
Yeah, I share AMs with him, and so do you, Destiny. Both of us share AMs with that guy.
Well, maybe.
Wait, so how much are they? How much do you think they're offering people to stay?
Depends
like,
entirely on their size, right?
Yeah, that's super contextual.
Yeah.
It's easy
I forget what Slasher said is
people than what Twitch is offering to stay.
What was it they offered Ninja to stay?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wonder.
Yeah,
well,
Slasher put that out there. Was it 10 mil or something? I always forget. There was so much shit going on at that time.
Well, my speculation would be that you would, if I was Ninja's agent, I would the lowest I would accept is like what I make in Twitch in a year. I guess let's say, for example, here hypothetically 5 million, right? If you're Ninja, hypothetically, or just to scale it out, I would want to see double what I make in a year and then add 20% for platform migration pains. And at that point, I would shut up and take it. So one thing that's minimum
interesting is that Mixer is actually offering a lot on these contracts that is not just money, right? Or is like benefits in different ways, because Microsoft has the whole company and game studio behind it. So they can offer things like exclusives with Halo and Minecraft, right? And then they can also do things like 2 months free of subs, and then all of that income, or most of that income, like, you know, supposedly goes to like Ninja. So that's like an extra several $1 million right there. So there's a lot of things that like Mixer can offer because they've got that backing that other people can't offer.
Not only that, but by offering the free subs for 2 months or whatever, it gives you direct incentive to just like stream a metric.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like.
And I keep saying this as well. Like, a lot of people think, oh, there's a chance like Mixer are going to go bust because they got like, you know, every time someone's gone into a war of attrition with Twitch, they lose. But the reality is this. You know, I've talked about this a little bit before as well. The bandwidth is what killed a lot of these other platforms, right? Like Azubu were just borrowing someone else called Bright Cove. It was just a white labeled stream solution, and they were having to pay for all of the bandwidth of everybody. Whereas because of Microsoft own Mixer, and they've got to deal with AT&T, so they're making big saves on like the whole bandwidth thing from the telephony, telecommunication side of things. So they
also
can
have
definitely.
Azure. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they can get into a war of attrition with Twitch like in a way that another one of these startups can't. Like Caffeine ain't even in the race. Like, you know, they don't have that. That's the old Apple guys. They ain't got no special connects or hookups that's going to make them get through. Whereas Mixer can definitely push this for as long as they want to, in terms of expense.
How much money does Mixer have, you think? Like, how much money, like, their budget
Well,
for, like,
it's
streamers?
just Microsoft.
It's Microsoft. They're a top 5. I mean, what they had like
Well,
what 10?
Microsoft made $10 billion last quarter, making it the most profitable company.
Just gonna say that, dude. Now I'm copying you. I was just gonna say they crossed 10 billion in 1 quarter, so they got cake. They can throw one bill at streamer acquisitions, no problem, and get and build an army of like.
And there's gonna Triax is 100% right, and there's gonna be a lot of people. They're like, well, but like that's Microsoft, the whole company, right? But what you have to consider is like Microsoft's interest in owning live streaming as a medium is a big deal, right? Like they really want to do that, so they're gonna put a lot of money behind that to make it happen.
They're going all out for this Halo thing too, because it's like what they want to do is they want to relaunch Halo, make it a big game, just release in general with all multimedia shit going on. But they also want to. It's all going to have like integrated Mixer streaming. And one of the reasons why they're trying to get so many of the big variety streamers and FPS streamers across from Twitch right now is they want to do something. I heard like some whispers. I was talking to someone in a bar in Vegas who knows about this shit. Like apparently they want to like have it so, you know, when it goes live, it's like you can get on a server, you can be playing with Ninja and streaming it to your Mixer stream. You know, so you're a nobody, you're unknown, but you're going to be playing with Mixer, and it's going to be all integrated into the Mixer. Playing with Ninja, but it's going to be integrated into the Mixer platform. You're playing with Shroud. They got a huge amount invested in the launch of this game.
The advantage that Mixer has over Twitch is the fact that like Twitch doesn't have game dev studios in partnership. They have to like go out and beg other game devs externally to like integrate Twitch into their game experiences. You know, the Microsoft game studios that they've all acquired recently and the core studio as well can all just like be mandated to integrate Mixer completely to where you don't even feel that platform switch. You don't view like playing a game and being on a live streaming platform as a separate thing. It's all integrated into one cohesive experience. And they're
Does
going to
anyone think Mixer sucks right now?
a lot.
Depends on like what you mean by sucks.
Like
The mobile app is pretty good, but like the site itself.
I mean the whole feel of it, the whole feel of the chat, just like the feel, the lack of humor in the community. Like I, mean, I don't think it's gonna always. I don't think it's always gonna suck. I'm not like gonna be like a naysayer and be like, this shit is never gonna be as good as Twitch. Twitch is #1 forever. Like, you know, it's crazy how things can get obsolete so fast in the fucking internet world. Like, I know Twitch is not going anywhere directly, but like I could see in a few years Mixer all of a sudden is just like the end all be all of streaming. I could see it. Just right now, it's like really unappealing to even look at the website and try to watch someone stream.
It's not that. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, what don't you like specifically about it?
Your boyfriend playing League of Legends, so you
Sure.
have to deal
Okay. Well, genuinely speaking, what do you think is like not?
I think
your
it's
type
mostly
of-
like the like funny vibe and like I know Twitch chat can be really fucking toxic, but they can also be really smart and witty and funny. And I think that's the thing I miss the most about it. It doesn't seem like a funny, quick-witted, community. Like, they don't exist there.
True.
It takes time to build
but
a
it's
brand.
still small. Yeah, it's like it's still a small community.
But not only that as well. It's like everything that's come after Twitch has like this almost like cultural deficit to Twitch, right? So people are going to go over to Mixer and they're going to be typing Kappa. There ain't no Kappa over there. It's got no frame of reference. Is Mixer going to be able to create anything culturally equivalent to that? Who fucking knows? But I do agree with you, Andy. I think me and Devin have talked about this a few times. It's like there is a cultural aspect to Twitch now that's gone so beyond, like it's mainstream. It is full mainstream. You hear people everyone knows what Twitch is. I go on a Twitch hoodie, people know what it is, and I'm not a streamer, but they know Twitch, right? So I think that definitely applies to the chat too. So Mixer need to have something innovative and a little bit different, a little bit special about how people express themselves on that platform, and that's the magic. That's the magic part of Twitch, honestly. That's the intangible thing that leads to Twitch being this like runaway success. Everything that comes after it pales by comparison.
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All I was gonna say was that if Ninja and Shroud both move to the platform, I think they genuinely like see a future with it. So
Well, even if they
they're
don't,
bigger, they're bigger than Twitch. They're not. They don't have to get carried by Twitch's relevance as like the dominating platform to sustain themselves. So at that point, if you're getting offered anywhere north of like 10 million, fuck it, dude. If it's 3-year contract, take it, cash out, get the 30 million total, and your sustainable growth, and you're in the headline because you were part of the innovative lead to like migrate platforms and all that.
So you think they're actually all in it for the money, like?
Well,
no,
it's a huge factor though.
If you're 25, right? If you're Shroud, you're 25 years old, and let's say the contract is $30 million, right? You're 28 when you walk out. You can rebuild your whole brand or whatever you supposedly lost from that, and you have time, and you're done for life. If you want to, do whatever the hell you want. And I think one of the interesting things is if you look at like the latest person that left was a guy named King Gothalion, and when he did his like video, he was talking about like the partnerships that Microsoft was offering him. It wasn't like, I'm sure there's a big money component, but for him, like the way he was speaking about it, what was interesting was like they're going to help him set up conventions. They're going to help him. They could do all these things that Twitch has like a hard time doing, like Richard was saying, because they just have a hard like Twitch is so big, it's so hard for them to focus on all these individuals
side
and all their
projects
needs.
And shit. Okay,
but like
for example here, I think you bring up a valid point here. Hypothetically, let's say if Train was offered to go to Mixer, right? And they would ask you, okay, Train, how do you want to expand your platform? Would you be open to doing Scuffed Podcast tours? You go in various auditoriums nationwide and you do these live tours. Would you want to do a grandified version of your core content now? We will help you front that production because you doing kick-ass, innovative Scuffed Podcasts live in front of a paying audience and broadcasting it simultaneously will look good for Mixer as well.
Yeah,
that might be compelling to the Train. I'm not quite sure, but that's the kind of things they may author of Lion and etc. So
you get like 10K per live show,
dude. That's like, dude, what you just said right there, Trix, is actually like I didn't even think of that. Like that's so fucking like genius.
Yeah, it's all about expanding the lie, dude.
Because like Twitch, like I said before, like I'm thankful for being here. I'm thankful for having this platform. All of us, we've all built communities that like they're our second families, right? And but at the end of the day, like Twitch, the people we stream for, like, from my understanding, at least from my position, it's one thing if they're there in the beginning when you're at 10 viewers and they're helping you through it, they're pushing your way through, they're giving you discoverability, they're sitting there investing in you, and then when you make it, they go, hey, you owe us, we were there for you. No, it's not the case. So like for someone like me, that's not, that they don't want to back at all, not even one little thing wants to be backed. It's like, stuff like that would be compelling. 100%.
There's a lot of streamers that make it despite Twitch. Honestly, I mean that's the reality.
Something to think about is that like at the end of the day, listen, you could be loyal to your friends and family. You could be loyal to like your fucking country or some shit. Don't be loyal to a fucking company, okay? Jesus Christ, like at the end of the day, Twitch isn't risking any of their bottom line for you. Don't risk your enjoyment for them. Give other platforms a chance. It's not going to be as good as it could be just starting. That's obviously true. But
I don't think anyone is trying to be loyal to the company.
I know, but like when you're saying things like, yeah, sure, but like when you're saying things like, oh, the culture sucks, they don't have our memes. Like, yeah, this community's new as fuck. Like Twitch memes, 9 years ago was literally just going from stream to stream harassing people. Like, I mean, there's like
memes, Destiny.
No, those were memes across all of Twitch.
No, I know it was. Yeah.
JTV literally got famous. Okay, that's really weird, actually. I was going to say, JTV literally got famous because all people did was restream copyrighted content on it, but I guess we're come full circle a little bit.
True.
But I understand, like, give other platforms a chance. If it's not working now, then cheer them on, Nothing is sadder than when people, like, go online and they cuck out for companies. Like, people do this with video game or computer parts all the time. Like, oh, only NVIDIA, only Intel, only... It's like, dude, like, the companies want
two things to add to that.
I think
real quick, Richard.
Twitch...
Two things to add to what Destiny said. No, I'm sorry. I should let you talk.
No, that's good, Jemima.
Well, technically, I'm the host. I should let you talk because what I have to say is just questionable.
Well, that's all right. I was just going to add to Steven's point. I was just going to say, even if you're on the Twitch platform and you've got no intention of leaving it, you should pray for Mix's success because that's leverage next time you have a negotiation with Twitch.
So what I was going to add to that, two things. The first thing being, this is exactly why, like, between you were the only person I called when I was going to that deal I was making, Destiny. Literally, you're the only person I called. I wanted your advice, and you gave me that exact advice. And it literally, I talked to my parents right afterwards. I actually called you before my parents, and they said it's really good advice. So I stand behind what you just said 100%. The second thing I want to add in, to everyone in chat that's saying streamer topics, listen, do you tune into Sports Center and say, oh, sports topics, fuck? No, you don't. So if you want us to talk about something else other than streamer topics, then please go to my Reddit, reddit.com/r/Trainwreckstv, and go tell me what we can talk about that can relate to you guys on a gaming platform at 12 a.m. at night on Halloween night, okay? Tell me what's going to relate to you guys.
They're just trying to trigger you. What?
I legit think that streamer topics are usually pretty boring for a lot of people.
Yeah. You guys can send me topic suggestions too, since I make the lists. If you want,
there's just no other we're just talking about what we can all relate to.
I would love to get suggestions. I have lots of stuff on here, dude. Tyler, how would it be if Mixer offered you a season on MasterChef with Gordo, dude?
Yo, that's outrageous.
I think my community alone would tell me to go just for that. If I got a season on Gordo, my community would tell me go. They say do it for free. 100% they say do it for free. I mean, here's the thing, dude. I gave Twitch the best idea 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I told Twitch. It was a year. I think it was last like October. So a year from now, a year ago, I told Twitch, stop doing these Twitch rivals and putting 150 Gs or 200 Gs into these games that people would play it if it was 30 Gs. They don't give a fuck that extra amount's not boosting anything for the game's long-term success on Twitch. Instead, if they were to take that 150,000, hire Gordon Ramsay, which on his site, I went and checked, we all checked, it says $100,000 for one show if you want to have him on a show. They could pay him 100 racks. Gordon Ramsay with the top streamers of Twitch, cook-off, broadcast on the front page of Twitch. It would be a million viewers, I promise, dude. They don't do this shit. Like, I gave them the idea, they could have just ripped it from me, and they don't do it. What the fuck are these other tournaments they're running? It's just a waste. No one gives a fuck. Like, I just don't understand. Like, Shroud gets more viewers than the tournaments they're running. They're 150,000. Right? If they did a Gordon Ramsay with the top 16 streamers on Twitch, it would be one of the biggest events. I think it would surpass the Ninja Drake Fortnite play. I honestly think it'd surpass it. 100%. And that's money that's already going to Twitch rivals. So I don't know why they don't do these things.
You want the boring answer?
Yes.
The boring answer is because like this huge investment in this one-time event, does it have longevity towards like bringing sustainable viewership to the platform? People are coming for Gordon Ramsay and the interactions with him amongst the people who will be on the stage. They're not coming to Twitch for this though. So it will be Gordon's fan base coming in mass to watch it, and then they peace out back to YouTube. That's going to be the thing they're going to tell you, honestly. It's kind of a shitty answer, and I don't want to be your buzz killed.
It's also true. That's also true, but I think it would retain more than a tournament. I mean, if you're putting 150 racks into a tournament and Shroud streaming at the same time and he's getting more viewers in the tournament, it's like that 150,000 could go towards them. Even if we don't retain the viewers, just the publicity of it, I think it would attract so many sponsors that never thought of working with Twitch. So it might not retain viewers, but I think it would give it some sort of national coverage in that sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but if it was part of a content strategy, right? This is how you make it work, right? So you don't just have a one-off tournament with Gordon, right? have a full series, make it like original planned content. Because Amazon's throwing money at people to make that shit anyway. Like, that's why Pokemon got that TV series and stuff. And then after that, once Gordon's fucked off, you've got to have some other chefs like lined up, some other cooking programs, right? And then if you do that, you know, all of a sudden people who are interested in like live, you know, like Binging with Babish streams on Twitch. You know, so there's a crossover right there. I see motherfuckers watching their videos. I saw Andy when he was baked the other night on stream. And fucking Binging with Babish said, "What do you think of that, Andy?" or something. And Andy thought the video was talking to him. So, you know, he was so fucked up. So, I saw that clip, brother. So, you know what I mean? So, it's like, if it was part of a content strategy to increase the number of people who are interested in cooking to come over, then it would be worth it.
No, I get what you're saying, Train. I think if people, like normies saw Gordon on here, then maybe other people would want to do the same thing. I get it. I agree.
And technically, there's like non-endemic viewership is actually really, really fucking good, because you have a much higher chance of converting like non-endemic, meaning people from the outside, those viewers into permanent viewers on your platform. Like if you get 1 million Gordon Ramsay fans to watch anything on Twitch, some percentage of those people are going to stick around.
Yeah.
And reaching out to non-endemic viewer bases is just a really good way to grow your shit.
Yeah.
And for Twitch right now, it's kind of the only way for them to grow because they've basically hit saturation with the core gamer market share. They're not going to go very far. Mm-hmm.
That's why they need to work on the goddamn IRL, because then they could do other avenues like the Gordon thing, like just other events and shit like that. I mean, I know video games are always going to be number one for Twitch, but there's like so much opportunity in the real world to make content besides like playing a video game.
Yeah, they're just so big now that there's so much bureaucracy around doing partnership deals and stuff. It's not like that's, again, the benefit of a smaller platform is they can kind of just do something because they've got like a staff of like 6 people.
Yeah, they don't have like 1 billion cooks in the kitchen and you have to like argue with or whatever.
Yeah.
It's why at times Twitch feels so stagnant on making things happen. I promised you channel points and all the other shit announced at TwitchCon would have not come until like a year later if it wasn't Mixer, you know, lighting a fire under ass essentially by the competition. Like that shit got greenlit real quick whenever Mixer was happening. So with that Ninja acquisition.
Guys, let me ask you a quick question. Do you guys think that in the next like 5 years that Twitch could ever become a place where when people hear the name, don't think about it as just gaming, they just instantly think of it as like a entertainment live streaming site? Or do you think it's always going to be video gaming is the first thing you're going to think about?
It can happen, but it's going to take way longer than 5 years.
I mean, look where we were 5 years ago.
Don't people already just think of it like a cam site? No, I'm kidding.
No.
I mean, some people do. Some people do.
We're pretty isolated from it, but gaming's still like the big draw on Twitch. Right?
Yeah, I, the way I always thought about it is like it should be. It's moving towards reality TV, like you know, like that kind of content. I think 5 years is realistic to kind of become a bit more open and thought of as just like not just a gaming thing. I think there's enough like non-gaming content on the platform right now. We're already taking that turn. It's just if Twitch want to invest in it and grow it. They never did in the past. Every time I used to bring it up with them back in the day about why don't you have people just like talk? Why don't you have people just IRL stuff? Why don't you have like reality TV? They were all like, no. That's not good for us. All our deals are with gaming companies and stuff.
I think they're starting to change their mind.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that's where the money's at now. You know, like you've already got the gaming market. So where are you going to go next?
I genuinely, I hope this isn't too like far-fetched, but I think Twitch within 5 years will make an 18+ section where you can start to do adult things like I don't know as far like just chatting a little bit more than that. Like I
don't think so.
What do you mean by adult things?
I don't know, like maybe they'll see that the market there's sex
nudity or like
I guess nudity. Yeah, I guess like nudity and stuff. I don't know, like not banning girls for having their maybe like shorts. You know how girls can get banned if you see it too short or tits. Like maybe they specifically make a section where you can do this just here. Or like
as much as I want to juice this and go with the full squad W take, I'm gonna actually I don't think it would ever go that far right now, I don't even think so. Realistically speaking, like with the instances I'm talking about, no matter how few, I don't even think they want that, but they're just in a denial where they don't see that as that. Does that make sense? Like I'm trying to like use that as the word, right? They don't see it that way because they're more like on the, like, you know, more open, free, liberal. Does that make sense? But like that is what it is. It is what's going on in a few channels, but they don't see it that way. So, but I don't think they want that now. Like even now, just the normal stuff that I talk about, I don't think they want that on the site. The problem
I think they do. They don't ban those people, so they clearly do want that on the site somehow.
No. Here's the thing. No, real quick. Just to defend that. Just to defend this. Listen, they don't ban it because here's the problem, okay? And I understand fully what the problem is. The problem is, in the certain scenarios where there is like, you know, where sexuality is being taken advantage of, which good for them. You know, if I could do it, I'd do it. Trox could do it, he'd do it. We'd all do it, right? But at the end of the day, like in the certain scenarios where sexuality is being taken advantage of, you can't prove it. If someone's wearing a low-cut shirt and you ban them and you say they're being sexual, technically you can't prove it unless you get a mind-reading machine. You can't say, oh, I've been through enough experiences to say she's doing it for this reason. Some of us, we can say,
oh,
no.
Yeah, you could easily.
But no, as a company, you can't.
You
I
can
can't.
as a company. Because
listen, guys, SG Peach was just getting out of that pool.
It goes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Listen,
totally
I
fine.
can.
Whoa, she was just swimming, dude.
Yeah, I can.
People swim all the
I
time.
can do it.
They're consistently doing it.
Wait, there's a way to easily tell.
I can.
Anyway, staff, me, anyone that likes girls, if you get an erection, then it's too far.
Okay. The point is, listen.
Some of the motherfucking deviants that watch Twitch, that ain't gonna fly, dog.
True. I 100%.
You know what I'm saying? They say with fucking perma boners, just waiting for someone to fucking squeeze it too. So
I 100% agree with you, Michaela. Like I can tell, you can tell, other people can tell, and the ones that can't tell, they can tell. They just don't want to admit it because it benefits whatever they preach, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think, especially in 2019, especially as a liberal company or whatever the fuck it is, leftist company, I don't think you can come out and say that because it's going to land on, I mean, look at this. If I do one thing, 6 different article sites are dropping it. If Twitch does it, they don't want that bad publicity. Twitch bans female streamer for wearing low-cut shirt. That's going to pick up on news. That's going to be sexist. That's going to drop as 6 different things, and they're going to lose advertisers. So I think they know. Yeah. They just can't do it because there isn't sufficient evidence to say she is doing this. And if they assume it, the girl has every right to say, no, I'm not doing that. Are you sexist for assuming that? And then they get fucked. That's the problem. So that's why when I preach it, like I know what's going on, but I responsibly stay on the edges because I understand the politics of it. Does that make sense?
Makes you look bad as a company because you're letting people walk over you.
The problem is we got sucked into this topic again.
That's capitalism.
Can I bring it back to this thing? Because I actually had an interesting point to bring up here. We barely touched on the whole the possibility of Doc and others being possibly being paid by Twitch.
That's true, we did
discreetly to remain on the platform.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring in some 2 cents here on that one.
Okay, cool.
I never considered that because I figured that Amazon's pretty frugal. They're not really eager to spend a fuck ton of money to keep status quo happening here unless there's a major dire threat to their dominance. And I figure that if they ever let it publicly be known that they pay anybody to or they pay anyone in a post-Mixer world to stay on Twitch, they wouldn't want to be public because then you set a precedent, right? Where you're like, okay, well now I want to evaluate my worth and I want my Twitch check. What the fuck's this shit, dude?
Yep.
So I imagine they're probably going to try really hard to not keep to not disclose that they pay anyone anything in the 100%. Platform. They do, or not even do it flat out at all, honestly. Instead, they would try to do more of these features on Twitch with the Prime movie nights and all the other shit. That way, you feel compelled via the FOMO factor to stay on Twitch rather than get an empty check that will only keep you happy for so many X amount of time.
What upsets me, Trihex, is that there are people I know that they've poached off of YouTube that have very, very small communities, yet they're paying them monthly to be on this platform. And it's
you mean YouTube? YouTube's paying them to stay on the platform?
No. Twitch is paying YouTubers, certain YouTubers to come on, or certain people from different networks to come on Twitch and stream. And it's okay, well, me and Destiny, We believed in your fucking site. We built a company that's, a community that's loyal. We have a big area. Why are you paying others to come in that have 1/20th of our community, yet you treat us like, hey, don't fuck up or you're out? Like, it's like you're treating us like shit, but treating the new guys that have nothing built in, that have no actual sense of community, no numbers.
They're expanding the Twitch audience. They're
insulting.
into Twitchers.
Yeah, nailed it. Right. It's the reason is because of the non-endemic audience that is worth more to Twitch right now than your endemic audience. They know that your users are already on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're playing a game of chicken with you, man. They think you won't fucking go somewhere else.
What are you going to do? Trainer,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what
True.
we're doing.
Are you going to drop your 10.5K subs and go somewhere else? Are you really going to do that right now?
I'm not going to. I mean, listen, I got 2 offers.
All right, exactly. Sit your ass down.
I know. No, you're right. You're right. I mean, the thing is, listen, the only reason I'm not at the moment is my community. But really, I mean, I got 2 offers, and I can mute stream and tell you both of them. And even the people that, like, I'm friends with that, like, are connected with Twitch, like, they're, like, such good offers that they don't even believe it, right? Like, but, like, that in itself is insulting in a way, right? Because it shows that they don't see me as a value or as a, you know, as one of the streamers that they're proud, right? Like, so it's just, I've gotten the offers, but it's just, like, does that make sense? The community is just, I don't want to go to Mixer. I'm not ready to go to Mixer and retire and have just talking to nobody. My entire stream is talking. Like, if I'm talking to a goddamn blank chat, who the fuck am I going to talk to? Does that make sense? I'm not going there to AFK on some pro game and play fucking FPS.
You
that make
say
sense?
that. Oh, it's such a so many times now. But
okay, listen. If I got 20 million, you know I'm going.
Bro. There's a tag here.
Of course. My own viewers.
If I threw you 50 G's a month to get your ass over to Mixer.
No, I wouldn't. Nope, 50 G's. No way. Are you kidding me?
Fine. 60 G's. 70 G's.
Wouldn't do it.
100
wouldn't
G's.
do it. Nope.
Live studio audience budget. You get 15 million to go do a 20 stop tour.
Don't even say a month. You gotta just throw out a
no. Listen, try
number.
Why wouldn't you do it?
Okay,
Why
listen.
would you do a train?
I'm gonna mute stream.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I had to give them some
No,
numbers.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's unmuted, boys. But yeah, of course there's a price, right? I mean, my own chat, 100%. If like, communities get mad at this stuff, right? But if I was offered like 20 million, I'd go, right? My own chat, if they were offered 20 million to stop, if they're offered $1,000 a month to stop watching me, they'd say, fuck yeah, who the fuck is Train, right? So like, this idea of outrage over that is ridiculous, right?
Andrew Yang comes in and offers everyone $1,000 stop watching.
I'm thinking about stopping watching you for free.
Exactly, that's my point. So it's like, at the end of the day, people are pissed off about
I'll pay you
it.
to stop streaming.
Yeah, of course there was like a price, 100%, right? But it wouldn't be 50 or 60 or 70. But yeah, anyways,
fair enough.
As far as Doc going, I mean, listen, I think Doc would be the biggest catch, in my opinion. Doc and Pokimane, I think would be final.
Poke's the biggest.
If they got Doc and Pokey,
Pokey as well.
Doc and Pokey alone would jumpstart them on a whole different level. If they pick Shroud, Ninja, Tifu, Pokey, and Doc, I think it'd be an actual competition at that point. And this whole idea of what's that called? Something economics, the drizzle down. What's it called? Trickle down economics, dude. I don't think it's actually real. Like in the sense of viewers, like because in the WoW section alone, when Aswin goes offline with 60K viewers, you see maybe 3K goes to SFan, 2K goes somewhere else, and the rest I think go to YouTube or maybe go. I don't know where they go, but I don't think they're going anywhere into the platform. I think a lot of streamers that have big audiences, they come from YouTube. A lot of Asmongold, back when 100%. I met him. Back when I met Asmongold started streaming, I think like a year after I did, like initially or some shit like that, 6 months. When he started streaming, he had 900 viewers. And then he came from YouTube. When his YouTube started blowing up, his view count went to 5, 6. It kept growing bigger and bigger and bigger. A lot of people, their viewership is YouTube. And I think when they're done watching them, they go back to YouTube. Very few trickle down to other streamers in the section. And I've noticed this over time.
Yep, and the stats reflect that.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is I actually think that Mixer's short-term play has nothing to do with viewers. What they're doing is they're generating brand awareness. Because 6 months ago, Twitch versus Mixer, no one would even talk about it. It was a joke. You would never even say, "Oh, LOL, I'm going to Mixer." No one would ever even say that. No one even knew who Mixer was. But now, even with 3% market share, everyone's saying, "Oh, this streamer's going to Mixer." All of this earned media, that's what they're buying. They're not even going.
And not just that though. What the other thing they're getting, of course, is like they do want a one-stop shop of having influencers they already got in a stable to promote all the Microsoft-related products they're going to release. Like it ain't just going to be Halo. They're going to be releasing all sorts of shit. And like if you've got people in the stable that are already like really big brand influencers that can already do stuff, already got integrated streaming going on, that's advertising. But I agree with you. This ain't about knocking Twitch off their perch. They'd have to be crazy to even think they could do that.
70% market share versus 3, and everyone thinks it's about viewers. They don't care about that right now. They care about becoming a household name in streaming, and then they can work on viewers.
It makes if I can chime in even further on that one, it makes, to an extent, it makes the Sony platform seem archaic by comparison. Sure, the PS5 could be a hardware powerhouse, could have read write speeds that are unrivaled by even M2 SSDs, by some kind of proprietary technology and some other amazing texture loading technology and all that. But it's only a hardware thing, right? It's only going to be cutting edge for so long until PC architecture can catch up to it, if it's proprietary or not. And that's all they really have right now. They don't have a platform. They're not making effort to get a Mixer integration in there. Live streaming has grown phenomenally over the last 5, 7, 10 years. I actually kind of worry about Sony right now if Microsoft's making these kind of moves at this point. So
what do you mean? What do you mean worry?
Just because, like, okay, so like if you're Sony, right, and all you're really doing is coming out with like superior hardware, how far will that carry you in the longevity of the ecosystem of what a gamer is now? I feel like a lot of gamers now don't just play games; they engage beyond just the game itself and into like something more broad, like community engagement or live streaming to an extent.
But you know what Sony's gonna do, right? It's just like the fucking, not to be the fat boy that gives you food analogies, but when Burger King or McDonald's comes out with something new and it's working like crazy, like they're gonna be like, all right, this is exactly what we need to do. The only thing that we're gonna get on the same level with them about is if we do something that's so close to exact. That's how I think a lot of big brands compete with each other. You know what I mean? Popeye's coming out with that fried chicken sandwich, trying to throw that shade on Chick-fil-A, like, yo, bro, what's up? We can make chicken too. You know what I mean?
So I'm sorry, I didn't quite follow that one here. So you're saying that Sony's going to do more of the same thing?
I'm saying so, like whatever Xbox has that Sony doesn't have, like right now it has Mixer, right? Mm-hmm. And it's going to have like crazy brand integration just because of Microsoft and because of Mixer. Like when they see something that's going to completely blow Sony out of the water, they're going to have to compete with them. That's something close to exactly on the playing field. I'm not saying they need to create their own fucking live streaming company, but they have to like step it up exactly how.
Well, that's the problem, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, they should already be preparing something right now. I feel like if you I don't know, reveal something at PS5 launch, something as preemptively requiring marketing, like having an own live streaming platform like Mixer, you're too late. Like, what's Sony's priority has been? I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail this whole topic here right now, but Sony's priority has been, PS View, which was that thing that you can do like alternative cable broadcast on. That like why they do that, like Hulu Ultra and YouTube TV do a way better job for way cheaper with more shit. So that was an investment there that went nowhere. PlayStation Now, the thing where you can play Sony games without a console, you can use like the cloud technology to play that shit. That also was laggy, crappy, and essentially poverty Stadia, and even Stadia is also shit as well. So like that's also didn't go anywhere either. So like
it's
there's
you're
been
saying
investments
it's too late
made in these other like wonky
up.
things here. So it's like not really. I haven't really. It seems like all the eggs are in one basket, which is like PS5 hardware. And the fact that PS4 is like dominating this current console generation right now. But even then, conceptually, consoles are so archaic now in a post-smartphone world. So you gotta be smarter than that. And that's why the Switch is working, because Switch is like a very obvious like post-smartphone device that can survive like the functionality of not being compared to a smartphone.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel like by comparison, the Vita didn't do as well.
So do you guys think that there's any other streaming service besides Mixer that can compete?
I really like what Caffeine is trying to do in the prepared content market. I think that's really interesting because that market, I mean, I'm sure Andy agrees, is very underserved right now. So it'd be interesting.
Caffeine.tv, or I haven't heard of this actually.
Yeah, so it would be interesting.
Yeah, what is Caffeine?
Yeah, I'm asking, is it caffeine.tv?
So, Caffeine is Facebook. Caffeine's a company that got about $120 million from Fox Entertainment to start a streaming service, and they're trying to do it by basically like offering content that's like prepared. So they're trying to, I don't know, Dusty, you could describe like what you did with like your special show there. That was cool.
Yeah, so like I had a little cosplay thing that I did with Stella Chu, I think is her name. Stella Chu, with like a bunch of Asian issues. But like she had like a whole studio rented out like in fucking Hollywood, like next to all these Fox guys doing sportscasts, and she had like a big fucking TV behind her. They had like producers and stuff, people to run the cameras. Like it was like a full on production. And I'm pretty sure Caffeine like paid her like and set her up with a studio and everything to do that, which is like a really cool way of buying talent rather than just like we're going to give you money. It was more like we're going to give you the tools to like do like a full production since that's what you want. Yeah, I thought that was
honestly, like these sites like Caffeine and even a little bit Mixer, not so much though, but Caffeine especially, I don't like how there was a block, how I need to sign in with Facebook or Twitter to be able to even see the site. Like this kind of stuff, I don't think they realize. This comes from an inexperience of understanding today's like gaming viewers and what they want, the internet world.
Online newspapers where you have to like log in to look.
It's complete. This is ridiculous. The fact I can't go and look at channels. I don't want to sign with Facebook or Twitter. I don't know what this site is. I don't know if it's going to post on my shit that I've logged in here. I want to check it out first, see what's going on, see what's good, right. This is a huge block. I promise you, if they remove this, they'd get even the slightest increase. They'd get it. So this is
It'd probably get like 3 times the amount of viewers, honestly.
Yeah, it's really crazy how like you log into that website and they basically just like require you to. It's like gated right away, right? You can't even get in.
It's ridiculous.
Can I bring up here? So I tried to log in just now, and I was like, okay, let me see what permissions they want for me to authorize through my Twitter account. Man, the shit they got on there, they want to authorize like reading all your shit and the ability to block and follow people at their discretion.
Nice.
What?
Really?
Go look at it. Yeah. No. Go try to log in with Twitter and then look at their permissions.
Dude, that's the thing is like some of these websites that are coming into this space are like so like DLive. Did you guys see that? How like questionable that was for a while? Yeah, like they're doing some weird shit, man. Like they're doing some like weird like cryptocurrency shit, like super bizarre.
I mean, they must have paid PewDiePie a fuck ton of money for him to stick his name on that, dude. Although I guess, I don't know, maybe he's starting to accept like the days of him being on fucking, the end of year YouTube videos are kind of behind him, but they're fucking dubious as a motherfucker, man. Like once you start talking about crypto and how if you invest in a website and stream on a website, you're gonna earn coins and they will retain a monetary value, dude. How many times are we gonna see a fucking scam like that come out? Like,
dude,
I mean,
just to prove. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you now has this thing called Shots, and it's crypto, and you could like tip people with the crypto. But they're saying it's a 1-year thing before they actually release it to where you can have a monetary value and trade it for Bitcoin, and then in turn trade the Bitcoin.
That's so weird, dude. Whenever I see anything like that,
but I looked into the cryptocurrency. If you read about it, like I have no idea if it's a scam, but they got it approved with whoever the fuck they have to get it approved by. What is it, FAA or someone else?
Wait, what?
How do you? Not the FAA. How do you get
Federal Aviation? I was like,
the SEC.
I said the FCC.
The SEC.
FCC is Federal Communications. That's for like.
Right, 3 letters.
Stocks.
Bro.
Yeah.
3 letters.
Just to clarify.
Anyway,
go ahead.
Yeah. All right. I'm done.
Just to clarify from our earlier conversation, on my Reddit, and shout out to my Reddit and my beautiful community that's so great and supporting. There's a Reddit post here that says, "Ouch! The fact that Trent said I would stop watching for 1K a month is a lie. I would for way less." So hey, shout out to the boys. Thank you guys. Really, we're going strong, boys. Thank you.
That's what you need, man. That encouragement, right?
Yep.
Do you guys think YouTube is competitor for any of these sites, like their live streaming services?
Yeah,
because they get big numbers sometimes. Honestly,
I hate it. Yeah, I guess I fucking hate YouTube.
It looks like
YouTube
shit.
is actually going to overtake Twitch.
Really?
That's my hot take.
They do get They do get more viewers than Twitch sometimes
Within
on
5
certain
years, or like, what's your projection on that?
I think so. From everything we can tell,
what's the catalyst for that to happen? Like, what has to happen for that to, you know?
Fuck, I'm gonna get over. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a caveat here. Okay, I've done hours and hours of videos about this because what I'm about to say is gonna be a fucking giant meme without context. But I think what's gonna happen. So right now, YouTube has 20% of the market versus Twitch's 70%. But YouTube is growing exponentially faster, even when you control for users on both sides. And I think that Stadia is going to offer technology in the next 5 years, not right now, but the live streaming portion of Stadia is going to offer technology that pulls YouTube ahead.
I mean,
I was just gonna say, I got a report.
How stupid that sounds right now. Yeah,
I got a report where one wouldn't require a console. You can just kind of hop in and play whatever. And not only that, but if I'm hypothetically broadcasting Assassin's Creed, you can literally, I can throw you a link and you can literally fast forward to where I am, chapter 7,
exactly,
and make it okay,
yeah.
Play with viewers, right? You just there's no barrier here. You just literally pay. I thought the dumbest thing for Stadia.
You're already on it. That's 100% right.
I'm trying, man. Because I hear you on that. I thought that Stadia being a traditional game release platform was whack. I'm like, who's gonna pay $60 to play, I don't know, WWE 2K20 on Stadia rather than buy the vanilla game on a hardware, right?
For sure.
I thought the bread and butter here was being able to rent it on a per hour basis would be super dope. I can rent it for $3.99 for 24 hours, no hardware required, just get that impulsive purchase right away. That to me is where Stadia wins. Because then I don't care about the lag anymore. I'm playing the shit, in 20 minutes on good internet.
So there was this report that came out, for the first quarter of this year. This is why Devin might be onto something. I know Devin does a lot of mad predictions. I agree with that. Probably, I don't know what your prediction rate is, Dev, but this might be one of your better ones.
100%.
Yeah. Oh no, he makes bold predictions 100% of the time. Now, how many come true, I don't know. Right, but anyway, YouTube Gaming Live climbed up in terms of its viewership to being 25% of Twitch's total viewership, which it had been lagging massively behind that. Hit that in Q1 19. It says on average, live streamers on YouTube get 26 more viewers per channel compared to the average channel on Twitch. So there's more engagement. It says for every if you have 52 hours watched on an average stream, YouTube Gaming Live has the highest hours streams to hours watched ratio compared to the other platforms. And in Q1 this year, YouTube Gaming Live had 52% more hours of content streamed compared to Mixer, despite having fewer channels by a significant distance. So I think when you start factoring all those numbers, what it says is live streaming is definitely on the come up on YouTube, and people are building audiences over there. It's just YouTube serves a different function in a way. I feel like it ain't about front page discovery for its live streams. You already got to follow them for the content they make to catch the live streams, and that's what they should have changed. They bungled YouTube Gaming when they did that embarrassing relaunch of it, and then just had to pretend it never happened 18 months later or whatever the fuck it was. But yeah, that's the one thing they need. If they get discovery on point and they start pimping out and promoting fucking upcoming streamers and just live streamers, not content creators, they can definitely do damage in the marketplace. For me, they're still the people closest to Twitch by a million miles for all the talk about Mixer. It ain't even close.
Yeah,
I got to bring up here the hot take on that one. I'm sorry if this topic's been going on way too long here, but now you brought up another thing I got to get to here now, which is the fact that, so in your hypothetical here where YouTube overtakes Twitch, I can't but speculate here that would then Twitch look towards how YouTube operates, aka the algorithm runs rampant and wild in every direction all at the same time here, and say, hey, look, rather than have I guess organic masses, the tier where they want to go and to be naturally a top heavy scenario where all the top 0.1% get a fuck ton of the viewership, rather than instead we control more of that by steering them very powerfully with the algorithms.
So the strength of YouTube is that it has an algorithm, right? And Twitch does not. The Twitch always serves viewership by the highest number of viewers. And they've just recently done some really basic ooga booga ML. But YouTube actually serves up discovery for smaller channels pretty well, all things considered, across the platform. And leveraging that technology for streaming is like a really exciting prospect.
Okay. If you say so. I mean, I just see, I don't know, the meta I see on YouTube comments is that like the algorithm brought me here, and like ultimately the discoverability seems to be so swayed on, like I said, you're in a box. You got to produce a certain kind of content that the algorithm prefers, 10-minute long, topical, certain keywords, certain super hashtags, certain titles, certain durations, and you're reverse engineering what people are Googling essentially. To make what is being searched for rather than what you actually want to make. And so I see that brought to the front lines in the comment sections of a lot of videos very frequently. And I would worry that is that better for live streaming? I get that works well for maybe it works well with consequences for a static video, but how would that apply for live streaming? And I worry what happens then.
Do you think that do you guys think that the objective of like, okay, so when a viewer, this is a good question for like everybody, is like when a viewer comes to a website, right? Like, what is their goal? Like, what should we do with that viewer ideally?
They want to be noticed, usually, right?
If I'm the company, it's keep you there as long as possible. I create Facebook effect. You just keep on scrolling, and you never give up.
Let's go around and ask that question, Andy.
Yeah, I'd like to hear everybody. Like, what do you think? Like, okay, if you're Twitch, like, what do you want to do with a viewer when you get them here?
Suck them off. No.
It's gonna get a meme.
Prime sub on Twitch.tv/AndyMillan.
If you're Twitch, what do you want to do to a viewer when you get them here?
No, let's say you have a brand new person on your website. Like, what do you want to do with them?
Honestly, let's ask this question. I think it's better because I think Twitch relies more on the streamer to keep them here. I mean, if you want to get into the analytics of what they do to like keep people on their site, I don't think anyone's gonna really know. Maybe only you.
No, not the analytics, just the you nailed it, right?
Yeah.
I think
so. Let's ask Andy what do you do when you get new viewers? Why do you think they want to stay? What do you like?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people click off websites if it feels cluttered and it doesn't feel like easy to sink into. Like you just leave right away. So number one, make it nice and pretty, peacocky. Maybe give everybody who just joins for the first time a free sub. So when they click on the first channel, if they love it, they could just be like, oh, now I'm going to subscribe. I got my name called out. And like, I don't know, give them the whole experience, I guess. I don't know if that's a good answer.
JCG, what about you?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like people can already do that with like following. I mean, I know like a lot of streamers when they first start out like that, they click the follow button and it pops up and it's like, oh, hey, like thanks for the follow. So I kind of think like we already kind of do that. Like I said, I just think they just want like just to give them attention. Like I feel like, that's why they're on the internet. They're not outside. Probably don't have friends. Maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong. That's what I would do with them. Just give them more attention, more things that they can like interact with us. Maybe different types of viewer games that are specifically through Twitch, not necessarily like a company, like through like Sony or something like that. Kind of like, I don't know, like little mini games. I guess that's what I would think to do to like keep them there.
Trihex.
Can you repeat again? If I was Twitch, what would I want to do?
No. So for your channel, when new viewers come in, let's say from YouTube, or let's say Shroud brings them in from different platforms, and he goes offline or gives you a host. You have some new viewers in your stream. What do you like? What's your thing to keep them? Like, what's your what do you do to keep these new viewers, or what do you do to kind of convert them over to the Try Gang or the Try Crew, right?
I'm not sure if that's really like I can give you like a pro Twitch answer, because it's more about a pro live streaming answer. If they're coming from somewhere external, then I'm going to be as interactive as possible. I'm gonna give them like interactive questions. I'm gonna give them a dynamic answer where I can't give like a static prearranged answer to the question or whatever it may be. So I'm like all about like, I don't know, like doing something extraordinary in the game I'm playing to get them hooked in the first place, to see that I'm worth caring about, and then I like am super interactive and ask them, what do you want to know about? Well, what do y'all want to do? What are we going to do right here? And I'm just down kind of whatever. It's like I'm just trying to do whatever a YouTube video can't do. Where your YouTube video you can fast forward and find out what the ending is. You don't know the ending here because it's dependent upon your input altogether.
Yeah, I like that. Michaela?
Well, the number one thing I notice in chat or when people message me is that they enjoy the attention. So if you say their name or talk to them more than just once, they're like, poggers, you know, just actually talking to me, paying attention. So I would try to focus on like playing with my viewers. So instead of just playing a game, I'd be more interactive, like, hey, let's do viewer games today. Let's play Fortnite, like stupid shit like that to keep them the first time, you know, like it's really differentiating with every streamer. But for my community and obviously the majority of Tyler's, when they come to my chat, they're like, they want to be here because I speak to the majority of them. They just like interaction. They don't, a lot of people don't like games. They like just chatting. They like when someone's literally speaking one-on-one to them. Like, so I'd focus more on that aspect than gaming and all that shit.
Destiny, what about you? So the question was, when you get new viewers in from a host, or maybe they're just tuning in from another platform, they saw a debate, an argument, or maybe they don't know who you are and they came from a friend. What do you do to kind of keep these people in, to convert them to, you know, to DGG or to your chat?
I mean, I think you have to identify like what your strongest content is that you offer, and then that would be what you would push. So like for me, it's if we're on some like political rant on something that's like very relevant to like what's going on now, like that would be like my biggest draw, like doing the political stuff I do like in some bombastic way or in some really effective way. So like a debate is like a really good way to get those people that are like talking about some like relevant political topic. That's really boring given what you guys said, but that's what I do. So that would be
No, but some people are into that, so it'd be good for your community. Yeah.
How about you, Richard?
But your goal is like when you get new viewers in, you want to show them something that you don't think they can get anywhere else that you excel at, so they can see it and they want to come back and see more of it. Yeah.
How about you, Richard?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just the same thing, like kind of like what Steven's saying, kind of like what everyone's saying, right? Like, I mean, we're all different types of streamers, like right here, right now. I think we all cater to different audiences, and that's the thing. Like when they come into my channel, like I don't want them to get the wrong idea about what they're gonna get. Like you ain't gonna see me fucking, you know, playing fucking Fortnite, fucking screaming or putting on a Halloween game and acting scared or whatever for clicks. Like I ain't, you know, that I ain't the one. I ain't doing that. I'm a little bit older than everybody as well. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that, by the way. Entertainment's entertainment, right? But like, you know, I want people to know exactly what they're getting from me. And so similar to Steven, you know, when you see you get an influx of new people like a host, like to be honest, Train, it happened from doing this podcast. I had loads of people coming across. I think they thought they'd see me playing Counter-Strike or something like that, or talking about it, or casting some games, which I do on occasion. But the amount of people that like just came along and, you know, they'll watch me talking about the news or whatever, doing one of my morning streams, and they stick around because of that. This last year, I gained like, because I barely stream anyway, I've done 600 hours of streaming this year.
Jeez. That's nothing.
Wow. So that's nothing, right? But I gained 30,000 viewers, 30,000 followers, sorry, in that year. My average viewership's gone up from like 500 to almost 2,000. My you know, all my metrics are massively through the roof because I've been working a little bit harder. I've had a bit more hustle. So I think you know, I'm looking to hit like 100K like summer next year. And then maybe I will start thinking about streaming full time or whatever. But you know, I think.
What do you talk about on your stream, Richard? Do you do no gameplay, right?
I mean, I do gameplay sometimes, but like mainly like Steven type games. You know, like he'll just sit there and play like, I don't know, what's that fucking Factorio or whatever. Like you just, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's the background thing, so I can talk about something else. But you know, RimWorld's a good one. But like, dude, my eyes are sharp.
You play these games? You play RimWorld?
Yeah, fucking love that game, dude. I played that since early access. I've been pimping that out to my audience. Like, we got a little RimWorld.
If you really play RimWorld, what's the name of the 17th tech that you research once you've unlocked the advanced tree after discovering the aliens on the main world?
Aliens on the main world. Shit, no, there isn't one. There isn't one. Sorry. Yeah, there ain't no. But not like. But I mean, I've been. You know, and there's so many mods for it too right now. Like it's sick. But yeah, I love RimWorld. And, you know, so. I do occasionally do it, but generally it's like we break down the news. It's similar to like what Steven does. But my key thing, my difference is I'm not really about politics. Like I don't want to make it left or right. I just do a lot of stuff about journalism and trying to cut through spin. So when you see something that's bullshit, I'll bring up like 5 different reports that all have factual inaccuracies, and we'll go over why they're factual inaccuracies. And a lot of people like that because increasingly it's harder to get reliable news sources. You know what it's like, Train. You got Deserto out there. who I'm a freelancer for.
Yo, Destiny.
You know, so that's what I try and do. But you know, at the end of the day, we all do different things, and if people like it, they can stick around. If they don't, they're welcome. They know what the door is. They're welcome to leave. Destiny, I don't do it for the cash.
Destiny, I'm gonna need you to resub, dude. Okay.
That's what you had to get the word in on, like him resubbing.
No, I think Richard brings up a good point as far as what you want to go for. 600 hours. I wouldn't say it's bad. Because 600 hours, I think, is maybe like, I'd say it's like 60% of what you should do if you want to build a consistent like community that's going to be there no matter what, right? And it's a lot more than most people. A lot of people I see complaining on Twitter or complaining elsewhere, they stream, you know, maybe like 100 hours the whole year, and they're complaining the most about it.
Yeah.
As far as what I do for community and to convert viewers, I kind of have this methodology in my mind of kind of how all of this works, like a structure I've kind of created in my opinion. So every couple weeks or every couple months, I think most streamers go through a hype period where you see a big increase in viewership because of, you know, a collaboration, because of, you know, something you've created or done. For some people it's drama. Fails. Yeah, for some people it's drama, some people it's live stream fail. Those people are one-time viewers. They're gonna be there for the hype and they're gonna leave. They don't care what happens to you. They don't give a shit at all. Now, within those people, there is a percentage you can convert to your community. So every hype wave, if you have the right message, you have the right community that can relate to at least 10% of them, and you convert them, you're going to, no matter what, always get bigger and bigger and bigger. So usually you have your base consistent streams, and then you have the hype streams. Your base consistent is you. It's just you, and it's a more personal approach. And then your hype streams, it's just, you know, it's a peak period. It's a fun. So what I do, for me, I'm a night stream. I kind of go off the thing of coziest stream, most wholesome stream, go to sleep stream, pass out.
Most wholesome?
100%. Listen, here's what happens.
He tells his audience, get under the covers and everything. Like,
listen, all streamers on this platform that go live before me, let's be honest. They have more content, they're entertaining, they're playing some game they're great at, and everyone's there. It's kind of like a circus pie in the face every 30 seconds, and it's keeping people, you know, there. It's keeping people entertained every second. There's a pie in the face, there's a punchline, there's this or that. But when that ends, you can never really just go to bed, because this anxiety forms, this paranoia, this weird vibe forms where it's like, fuck, now what do I do? How do I cool down? So I kind of created a community where after everything's done, you come and cool down. You come and watch, you get your last laughs in, and you slowly kind of go into the positive vibe atmosphere until you pass the fuck out, and then the chat's dead. So that's kind of what I built. That's how I convert, you know, viewers to the Squad W crew. And I think it's a great place. It's positive vibes. It's good vibes. If there's any drama frogs, we ban them. So I think it's definitely shaped into something really good compared to like 2 years ago.
Is your stream not based off of past drama? Isn't this where the viewers are from?
No, not at all. I mean,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, no, that's actually. That's actually. No, I know you're kidding.
I'm sorry. That was toxic.
He's not kidding.
No.
Trainer, great streamer. Me and Tyler watch you at night. Me and Tyler go into bed and get cozy and watch Gordon Ramsay with you. It's actually great. Thank you.
No problem. Now, listen, what you're saying, I think a lot of people are under that like impression. Realistically speaking, like just what you brought up was a joke, but I'll go over it because I think some people in chat actually feel that way too. Realistically, I think at the end of all the stuff that happened, I remember I was at Nick's house, you know, and once again, despite how it turned out, I'm still thankful for Mitch. Like, he gave me a platform, an opportunity, you know, to get what I do out there, to get the, you know, vibe, the movements. So huge shout out to him, regardless of what happened, you know, between us. I'm still thankful for it, you know. But I had a decision to make after everything kind of, you know, fell apart. And I remember I was at Nick's house, you know, everyone was just there, everyone from toxic viewers to YouTube viewers to everybody, LSF. And I think I was like 9 or 10K, and I had a choice there. I could have kept going with that peak hype. I could have kept going, shit talking, releasing drama, releasing this or that. But I remember I made like a statement, and I said, listen, if you're here for drama, get the fuck out. And literally over 5 minutes, I lost like 6K viewers, went down to like 3K or 4K. And that was literally the precipice. That was the moment where I made the decision to kind of slow roll it. And from there, I was at 1,100 viewers average, 1,200 viewers average, went to 18, dropped back down to 15, went to 2,000, dropped back down to 1,200. And over 2 years, we've built what this is. And honestly, I'm thankful for it. I think the long you know, what you gain in that long period is way better long term than what you do for that short term hype. And that's what I recommend to new streamers as well. Like building it, like going the long road is just way better in my opinion. And that's what we've done. And I think that's how you build a real movement in a community. So I
agree with that to a certain extent, but I don't think there's anything like drama to fucking break out, bro. Like if you fucking have a big old drama and you get like a run of them, but you build an audience off the back of that. No. Then you want to just do the Destiny rate where you only do one drama per year.
No, it's not. I mean, that you might be joking, but
drama brings feet in the door. It doesn't hold you.
Exactly.
You get a lot of eyes on you.
It's very temporary.
But then that's what I'm saying. But then that's when you do the conversion, right?
No, you don't. No. Hold on, real quick. I gotta clarify this because a lot of people think this, and I just have to, because I've been in like both sides. Here's the thing: drama viewers will always be drama viewers. Drama viewers are equivalent to those people who will be your friend when you win the fight, but as soon as you lose your next, they're not there. They're friends with a new winner. Sure. You understand?
True.
So you can't convert
like Ice
these
Poseidon's
people.
audience, right?
You can't convert these people, right? Like that's why you stay away from them. Sure, maybe in the entire group, there's one or two that think they're that, but they're not, and you convert them. But overall, if you go after a drama base, if you decide to do once every 2 months, drama happens, you're literally asking for the most toxic, disingenuous, unloyal community that's just waiting for you to get into the next one. And as soon as you lose, they're not defending you. They're saying, yo, fuck you. We knew you were a fucking clown. This guy's the real G. And that's the problem with it. So you stay away from that at all costs, in my opinion.
You're doing great, Train. I think you've come a long way.
Thank you, Michaela. I appreciate
Such an awesome person. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
You're an awesome person too.
You guys don't think that the community can actually be built as like that? Like, let's say that you get 1,000 new viewers because of drama. Like, how many of those people might actually convert to be your like long-term followers?
20 or 50. 20 or
Is
50.
that worth something?
Yeah, no, it super depends on the type of streamer you are behind it. Like some people have some drama happen and then they literally can like build a career off of it. And then some people get a lot of LSF. Fuck, man, I wish I could remember more concrete examples, but like some people have gotten like big off of LSF exposure and then they've kind of like built a career behind it. So like Maya, Miskiff's girlfriend, if I'm assuming they're still dating, or like Invader V, I think were two people that, or Sweet Anita, these people like blew up on LSF and then they actually held on to their viewer base because they were entertaining. But then there have been other streamers that would like have like these big explosive clips and then they would just kind of fade away. They'd get like a big I'm trying to think, who was that? Oh god, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but who was that one girl that would kind of like was she Australian that would kind of throw shade at other girl streamers, or British?
Oh yeah, the news broadcaster one.
Comedy.
Maybe, yeah. Like she's gotten like a couple of big clips, but she still stays at around. Doesn't she have like around 150 viewers or something? I haven't looked at her in a while. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so there are streamers that can like blow up with like a temporary drama, but they don't get anything because they don't have the content behind it to like hold on.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like that's what I mean about by having stuff around for the conversion. It's like once you've got the eyeballs on, that's when you got to do the switch and show them like the real good stuff. Unfortunately, what a lot of people do is because they're just about the drama, it becomes like very wearing. It's the same thing over and over and over again, and there's actually no substance to it, and that starts to turn people off. But having a big drama is like a real good way. Like, fuck, man, I could think of so many streamers that were like, 1 minute you're like, who the fuck's that? And then some drama occurs and they get an audience off the back of it because they're savvy with how to convert it afterwards. Like, you know, if you're starting out, the sad truth is sometimes drama is what it takes. I mean, I can't talk about it for Twitch, but I can talk about it for Twitter. I had like no followers on Twitter, and even like this is like back in 2010 when I was still like one of the leading reporters in eSports. But like when I started arguing with like Evil Geniuses and Total Biscuit and people like this, and Steven, you know, we start fucking popping off at each other on social media. That's when my shit blew up.
Wait, I said true to that, but I wasn't paying attention. What was your initial point?
What, mine?
Yeah, of what you said. Did you name
Yeah,
names?
just saying that like having an initial breakout drama can be like enough.
Yes,
to
you're
get
right.
an
You're
entire
right.
career
Yes, you're right. So here's the thing. Yes, the initial drama that happens. Yeah, I guess you're right. It could be enough to get the eyes on you, but from there, it's your responsibility to get away from that, in my opinion. Because if you keep bringing that in, it's like getting, you know, it's almost like a heroin addict, right? Like every injection's that fucking peak feeling, but as soon as like it comes down, you feel like shit. So you have to keep injecting. This time it's 2 injections. This time it's 3. Next time it's 5. Next time it's 7 until you're fucking withered away and dead. Like it's literally a perfect fucking example to it. That's why you get away from it 100%. Like it's going to kill you at the end. It's going to kill you at the end no matter who you are. You cannot keep that up. It's so detrimental to your mental health and just to who you are as a person. And that's my opinion.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're a shitty person, and then you're just like, all right, I'm getting the viewers, and I can continue to be me. You know
well,
what I mean?
are there some people that literally just like? Aren't there some people that literally just farm drama? It seems like, especially now, like they just.
Well, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because dude, how many people were doing it off this Destiny and Trihex thing?
Yeah. Oh my god, so many, dude.
It was fucking pathetic.
Chasers,
only 2. Yeah, honestly, I never seen nothing like it. I said it to Steven when we did another podcast. The only 2 motherfuckers that should have had an opinion about it or a conversation about it were Trihex and Steven. And then it was just like everyone who wants to be king of the fucking liberals or whatever came out of the fucking woodwork, slithered out from whatever fucking pond they're lurking in, and wanted to give an opinion about this like very basic conversation that could have just been resolved probably in like 5 minutes, honestly.
Why did you guys never bring it off? Like, why did it start on stream to begin with? Was there a reason why, like...
Someone mentioned it other than both of them, I think, and then they kind of got brought into it, right?
Oh, okay.
Right, let's move topics. I think it's a good place to move topips. Yeah,
sorry, I didn't want to bring that up again, but it does got to be said. It's true nonetheless, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're completely good. So, to kind of have a, softer topic.
Fuck Alabrel.
The guy's so loud. He's so loud.
What? Am I loud now?
No. The guy,
Oh, do you mean Alabrel's loud?
Yeah. Every time I tune into like a podcast or whatever, he's always screaming. It makes me scared, honestly.
Yo, you'd be angry too if you fucking looked like that, man. You know?
Okay, chill.
I don't want to go like too deep in this, but I can't believe that Twitch didn't ban him. I actually
it's outrageous, dog.
I actually can't believe that he got away with that. Oh my god. I was sure that Trust and Safety was gonna god.
Wait, what did he do? I don't know.
I mean,
he
said,
he
say what he did?
Yes.
He said I should have aborted my kid.
He said he said Destiny should have aborted his child.
It ain't even funny, man. Like, it's fucking outrageous, man.
I can't believe he didn't get banned for that. I'm starting to believe the Twitch Illuminati stuff more every week, dude. Maybe this podcast is rubbing off on me, but shit, I can't believe he didn't get banned there. Holy shit.
The thing about that is, like, what pissed me off is, like, Nathan's, like, old enough, like, he does look into what his dad's doing. He does see what his dad's doing on the internet. And, like, you've only got to be fucking, you've only got to have 80 IQ to figure out, like, kids are internet savvy these days. So you're going to say something like that, invoke his fucking name, and obviously the kid's going to find it, innit? Well, like, we're talking about cyberbullying and shit. If you're a kid and you find some fucking outrageous cunt of a streamer saying, like, you're better off dead, effectively, because of your dad, like, nah, man, it's too far. Twitch not banning him, that is outrageous. That's more outrageous than any of the Squad W bullshit and double standards. He should have took 30 days minimum on his fucking pube-ridden chin. Fuck that guy. It's outrageous. No, man, I was furious about it. I had to delete my last VOD because I saw it. And I was like, well, mate, I fucking knew Steven before. We were at an event when he told me he was having a kid. It's outrageous.
Isn't the kid younger, too? Isn't he, like... I don't know how old your son is. I'm sorry.
I think he's 8, unless something changed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there's some carnival wheel somewhere where you spin it and it either says ban or not ban on it.
Have you ever seen that guy on Twitter who like has the dice and he rolls the dice every time there's like a drama ban or there's any kind of like ban thing, and it's like the dice say new. Like he rolls it or whatever. It's like fucking great. Yeah.
Sorry to bring it up on your show.
You're good,
Tyler, man, but like, nah, like that's a bridge too far. Like, I don't mind having Twitter, like, Twitter beef with each other, or saying I don't like this streamer, or this streamer's shit, or this streamer's an idiot, and all of that stuff. Like, I think we should all have a robust enough community where we can, like, critique each other and each other's work, right? Yeah. But there has to be a little bit of professionalism. You have to understand that, like, Steven's like a colleague of yours, and what you said is, like, beyond the fucking pale. It's even worse that fucking leech motherfucker is on his screen. Like it just blows my mind that you're gonna say that after that. Like,
well, the funniest part is the fact that he just got partnered too.
No, it's ridiculous.
Still sitting on affiliate. Yeah, he actually messaged or he tweeted at Slicker too when he got partnered.
Partnered before Slicker.
Oh, imagine.
Wow, if that's the case,
Slicker ain't never said anything as bad as that. Not that I've seen.
Yeah, that's just sad.
Yeah, I tweeted him some shit. He didn't respond.
To me, it's political. It's some political bullshit, in my opinion. I don't want to go into it because it's going to be a little weird, but I think it's political 100%. I think if someone like me would have said it, or Slicker, or, just something.
Mate, your feet wouldn't have touched the fucking floor.
100%. Like, it's political. Like, it's optics. That's what it is. It's some weird shit like that. Like, it's unfortunate, but that's just where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Why do you think Twitch is like so inconsistent with the rules? Like, what makes them?
They're scared.
But scared of what?
I honestly think it's inconsistent because it does end up on the doorstep of different people with different priorities and different thoughts about different streamers.
Yeah, probably.
I think that's just how it is. It's not like some monolithic entity where it gets fed up the pipe. I forget that motherfucker's name who had the bow tie. That was it, TwitchCon saying, well, if you trip over and you bump into someone, it's not the same as push that dude. It's not him making every decision, right? It's like they delegate. So you're going to have some people that make good, consistent decisions and know what they're talking about, and you're going to have some incompetent motherfuckers. Like, that's just every company. And I think, unfortunately, what happens more and more is you get people that, like, really shouldn't be making these decisions because they can't trust their own judgments and their own self, basically making the calls. So you end up with situations where it's like, you better cozy up to the sensible ones while they're still working at Twitch, by the way, because there's another big exodus coming starting next year. You better cozy up to the people that are making sensible decisions, because if you don't know who your manager is and you ain't got someone fighting for you in a Twitch room somewhere, all it's going to take is like one drama, and then it goes to that one idiot, and that one idiot just kicks you off the platform and you lose everything.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. It's scary, man. It really is.
It's unfortunate, I guess.
Sorry. May I ask you what's the we're talking about incompetent managers in Twitch now, or like?
We just randomly jumped. We just randomly jumped to.
We went back to the dark dimension temporarily. That's
inconsistency of Twitch rules, and then the guy not getting, or whatever his name, not getting banned. That's it.
We must always be vigilant.
Or Alabro, whatever.
Yeah. We must always be vigilant that we don't fall back into our old ways.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to say I didn't approve of that at all. I thought that was like really.
Nah, dog. That's what. Yeah, that was.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I would just say it's beyond the pale of anything I've ever heard anyone say on this platform.
Has there been any? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be facetious here, but since you guys brought it up now, like
he's not banned. He got partnered.
So he's not banned, and he still remains partner despite everything. Is that what?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But we're not definitive if he's like under investigation from the reports that have probably happened in mass at this point. Like,
we don't know that, but when you like usually those kind of investigations clear up within 48 hours or so. Yeah, it seems very strange if it was going to happen.
You're just gonna have to sit around and wait for him to get Me Too'd, which based on some of the tweets, he's fucking creeping out on people. Like, you know what I mean? Just let nature take its course, I guess. Fuck that guy.
Okay. So did all of you see the SNL skit that they did about esports and gaming?
I watched half of it. It was.
Let me link it to you guys real quick.
I did not.
Did they have an actual? I know nothing about this here. Did they have an actual like esports person be part of the skit?
No.
No.
I don't remember who it was.
It's right there. Yeah. I'm not sure. How long is it? Oh, it's 5 minutes. So I doubt we
5
can watch
minutes
this.
long.
Yeah.
Oh, is it 5 minutes? I thought it was 2 minutes.
Well, the YouTube video is 5 minutes long.
If it was 2 minutes, we could have watched it. I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
it's Chance the Rapper who did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is he savvy? Is he savvy in esports? Has he ever like acknowledged esports before?
I think it's pretty much a meme.
Okay.
Like, it's basically kind of, but it's kind of interesting, right? Because it's just showing how every time esports like sort of crosses the barrier into like the normal world, it feels like Doctor Strange, where like we're fighting these like ghost monsters out in the streets and nobody else can see it. And then every once in a while, like there's like a malfunction and like the real world sees the monster. That's like what happens when esports like pops out. Like all of a sudden it's just like a media the media starts picking it up. It's kind of a weird thing. So it's like it's crazy to see esports on SNL, considering that just a few years ago, we just like we're all playing in like a basement somewhere. It's pretty weird.
Here's my question, right?
I agree.
The skit in question here is the target audience like Big Bang Theory audience, where it's like people who like
it's a good question.
view like the idea of gaming with serious intent and not it as a giant toy for a man-child. Like, is the act of gaming and the ability to reference it the humor itself, or is it actually like relevant to like what a gamer would actually understand here?
It's kind of a weird one because there was already I forget what it's called. There was already that other series, wasn't there? That YouTube Red did. Michelle Morrow helped script it. So we've already had we already had like an esports sitcom anyway. Now we got 2 in commission. There was also wasn't there a Disney show about a kid that got injured, like he hurt his wrist and couldn't play anymore. So he was like a retired champion. Like,
is that right?
I've never seen that.
Yeah. Called Gamer's Guide to Pretty Much Everything or something, I think it was called. But anyway, so none of this is new. It's just at the end of the day, I mean, there's a reason as well why they're doing it with Chance the Rapper, right? Because he's got something to sell right now too. Obviously, esports always got something to sell because we're still trying to get that mainstream acceptance. So I think that's what it's about. Like, there's going to be little bits in there that you'll understand, but I think in general, yeah, it's going to be like Big Bang Theory. It's going to be more like an ode to nerd culture because that's got broader appeal, right? And you don't get on TV doing anything niche for too long. Like when I was doing the E-League TV show, trust me, they said ratings ain't a thing. 6 months in, they were like, what are we going to do to get these ratings up then, guys? It's like ratings always become a thing. So,
how many writers do you think Big Bang Theory has? Because it's like one of the funniest shows I've ever seen.
Oh my god, I thought it was terrible.
Wouldn't you know this like better than?
Are you being serious there, Andy?
No, me too.
No, he's
right. Thank fuck, dude. I was like, there was like a pregnant pause. I was like, fuck, I don't want to say anything because I think I pissed you off last time we were on a podcast.
Okay.
One thing I do want to bring up here, though, here's just some framing of the world we exist in now. So, as you know, and I hate to minor derail here, Netflix is feeling the heat from Disney Plus. The competitive, some major competition from the infinite pocket banks of Disney, right? With Disney Plus coming out in November. So Netflix, tweeted out that they hastily acquired their streaming rights to Seinfeld, which they're going to be able to utilize in going live in 2021. They're announcing that so far in advance to like say, hey, don't unsubscribe because we're going to have lit shit, as soon as we can. And in that regard here, Big Bang Theory, we've now seen quantified because the Seinfeld deal from Netflix was speculated to be about $500 million. Big Bang Theory, its exclusive streaming rights, same number.
Yo, you have no idea the numbers that used to get, right? So I was in the Friday Night Death slot when I was doing TV. So for those who don't know, Friday Night Death slot's like just where they stick TV shows because everyone's out having a good time. So it's like 11 p.m. at like 1 a.m. or something. Ain't no one watching TV. Everyone's out drinking, partying, and raging. And we used, I remember the first time we hit 300,000 viewers, or what they call like a 0.3 in TV. Everyone was like high-fiving and shit because we got past a big threshold. The reruns of Big Bang Theory that used to come on after us at like 2 a.m. or whatever, they used to get like 1.5 million, 1.8 million views. It's like, fuck this, dude. Like, esports got a long way to go. Motherfuckers watching reruns of that shit. Like,
you guys gotta go on YouTube and look up Big Bang Theory scenes without a laugh track. It's so fucked up.
No, I've seen it, dude. It's like unreal.
Dude.
The laugh track carries that show, man. It's unbelievable.
I'm about to fucking defend this fucking show, but to be fair, a lot of shows without a laugh track are very fucking awkward. Yeah. And people can sit there and stand the laugh track, but go back and watch Friends. Go back farther and watch fucking Three's Company. Go back and watch the, whatever the old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like all of these shows had laugh tracks and shit. They're all very awkward to watch.
Yeah, you actually need them for sitcoms, but this one is special. When you take out the laugh track from Big Bang Theory, you're like, this is the anti-comedy. It's like the antimatter, but anti-comedy.
No, that's 100% on point, man. It's really, really bad. It was tough as well because it was like, I was at the network that like commissioned that fucking show. I remember getting asked like one time by like a TV executive, oh, do you like Big Bang Theory? I was like, fuck, how do I get out of this? How am I going to tell this fucking guy who holds my entire media future in the palm of his hand, like something that isn't going to make me vomit on my shoes? It was unreal. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I've seen it. That was about as good as I can get you. I've seen it.
I didn't lie.
Yeah, seen it a lot. Yeah, that was that.
It's this really weird rift where like I feel like non-gamers love it, but anyone gaming savvy feels like they hate it, and or even further, they feel ridiculed by it, like you're being belittled because of it. Because I don't know, maybe that's me. Maybe I'm overreading here, but I feel like you're being laughed at for being a gamer or a nerd or a geek, not really laughing with.
You know what? I on that note, I want to ask people like, what do you guys think that the normal world, like, what's the normal perception of gamers these days? Like, has it changed at all from like?
Yes.
Are we
in high school,
still
like,
fat, pimply?
I don't think
basement
I think it's
dwelling?
changed.
They still think we're nerds, or
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. The boomers aren't gonna fucking care. I think they still think they were fucking.
So
that
my
nothing's changed.
general take, and it's really hard being isolated from the real world, being a fucking streamer. I think that nerds have become a lot more acceptable, but I don't think that like gaming specifically has become a lot more acceptable. One thing that's true today is there are a lot more casual gamers. Like back in the day, if you had like a gaming console, like a PlayStation 2 or an Xbox or whatever, like I don't think that the sports games were as popular as they are now. Like the FIFAs of today are more popular than the NFL blitzes of like the 90s or the early 2000s. I think that's like the general feel that I have.
Yeah, I mean, what you got to understand is all those little fucking Zoomers out there that are like playing fucking Fortnite and all that shit, right? They call everyone a fucking boomer because they're kids, they're stupid. Like, it's fine, it's all right. Like, but like what we're talking about now is boomers are never going to understand video games. They did because the technology. They were old as fuck when the technology first came out, right? But like. We got fucking Generation X. We got the Millennials. We got Zennials. I think I'm a fucking Zennial. I don't even know what the fuck that is, but it's like it's the one in between. There was like 8 years. I think it's described as where you have like an analog childhood but a digital adulthood. Like whatever. Bottom line is, you know, nobody makes these distinctions, right? But all of those generations are old now, tech savvy, game savvy. We all played video games, so you've got like 3 generations or something minimum that have had video games their entire fucking lives. So, of course, the attitude's going to change because we out there knocking out kids now. So we ain't telling we ain't telling our kids like gaming's bad, are we?
In my opinion,
attitude's definitely changed, 100%.
Dude, I mean, a part of Squad W, in my opinion, is exactly this. Like, there was a point where gaming was frowned upon. Like, people hit it. Like, there's kids I used to play World of Warcraft with that were on the football team, but like when I played with them, it was a secret. No one could know, and if anyone found out, it was denied immediately. Now it sounds like people are trying to like put into their profiles gaming since 2001, and they're holding an Xbox controller with a PS4 console.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it's so fucking weird. So it's
you've
like,
been on Pornhub lately?
yes,
Like,
I don't
it's
think
just gamer themed porn now. I saw like a Minecraft fucking porn the other day. Like, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's pretty good.
Motherfuckers going at it.
I think it's pretty normalized now. If anything, I think like Destiny was saying, or at least a piece of it, I think that gamers are now seen as the cool kids, and the cool kids are kind of seen as the normies, and they're trying to play games, but that's what I kind of see it as. Like, 100, at least when it comes to...
Can I expand further on that?
Yeah.
I would go even further to say that while nerdy people, as Destiny was saying here earlier, that they're becoming more normalized, I think general geekdom is becoming super mainstream now. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, look at how popular
you're
fucking comic books are.
Yeah, if you're a Marvel fan, like you can be like the biggest like NFL normie, and you're completely caught up on the MCU. You know all about the shit. You even read further on it to even know what happens after Infinity War because you're so excited.
But also, don't you think
watch
that
football and it's not nothing anymore? Now you engage in fantasy football as well, and that's super normalized now. And I feel like that wasn't 10 years ago.
But instead of being more accepting of nerds, isn't it just like people are generalizing people less because like their idea of what a nerd was so fucking like inside the box, and like you have so many different types of people that are interested in gaming, comic books, comic book movies. I feel like we're just less generalizing people and putting them in stereotype like fucking tropes from movies. Like, that's the nerd table, that's the jock table, that's the fucking edgy table.
I think kids are still getting divided into social strata at schools. It's probably just that they've changed, right? And because we're all old, we don't know what the fuck they are anymore. But, you know, yeah, probably isn't as simple as jocks and nerds or whatever anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a huge generalization. People aren't just one thing just because, like, oh, they like video games. Then let me classify them as nerds.
Fortnite has, I don't mean to say Fortnite's really changed the game, but it's what made my mom genuinely come around with gaming. Like, she knows who Ninja is now, but she had no idea what Twitch was. And it's weird because my mom
doesn't know who Ninja is. She actually had sex with Ninja.
My mom, she's like, when I met Tyler, she was 36, I think, and she told me, like, break up with Tyler. Gaming's weird. These people have no lives. And now it's like 3 or 4 years later, and she's like, "Oh, Fortnite seems so cool. Like, who's this Ninja guy? I see his stuff in the store now." Like,
yeah, Fortnite is the first time somebody recognized my Twitch logo shirt, like outside of like a heavy gaming area. Somebody saw it like, "Oh shit, dude, you stream on Twitch?" No, he didn't say shit because this kid was like literally 10. He was like, "You stream on Twitch? That's where Ninja is."
Yeah. It's all
Wait, that's wholesome.
Well, yeah, but also feels bad, man. But yeah.
I had an Uber driver, like, they were asking what I did for a living, and I reluctantly say journalist these days. And he was asking, well, what do you write about? And I said, oh, you know, I do, like, eSports and that. And then he'd read a story I'd written, and it was about Fortnite. It was like this...
Really?
Yeah, it was like, no shit,
Holy
I swear.
shit.
It was like the Tfue shit or whatever. Oh, no, it wasn't even Tfue, it was the High Sky one. And he was going, yeah, man, FaZe Clan, they lied about that kid, yeah? And I'm like, yeah, that was me, yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of fucking surreal as well, you know? But Fortnite, 100% game changer.
Yeah, no, I don't know what made Fortnite so, like...
That's actually a good question.
Fortnite did a lot of things well.
That's actually a really good question.
Are super optimized across a lot of platforms. It wasn't like PUBG's bullshit.
I was gonna say that, dude.
Yep. Handling of the game is very accessible. You don't feel like you're in a dream where you can barely fucking walk like you do with PUBG. There's a very high skill ceiling because of the building. As much as I fucking hate the building, it gives a very high skill ceiling to the game, so there's a chance for better players to showcase their skills. It's free to play. The lack of blood and everything makes it appeal to kids quite a bit. The cartooniness also gives it a childlike appeal, and a lot of the lead content creators for that game did a lot to like appeal to a broader demographic as well. Pokemon played Fortnite, Ninja played Fortnite, and they applied to kids. They made all the right moves with that game, basically.
And once they took off, they also took care of their player base. They realized their player base made them, and they took care of them. Like $1 million tournaments, you know, putting 150 million into all tournaments across the year. That's huge. I mean, look at Blizzard. Blizzard sits there, like, still they haven't changed shit. They're giving nothing to their pro players. They do nothing at all. They're the greediest company, and yet they're confused with what's going on. And they keep releasing new games, not changing anything in their structure. Like, that's why
I'll add a counterbalance to that, though, Trent. They definitely put the money in, but anybody who had to play in them Fortnite qualifiers will sit here and tell you they're some of the worst run online tournaments of all time. Like, go ask any Fortnite pro. So what Epic Games did is they knew they could announce like 150 mil or whatever the fuck it was, and everyone would write about it. But what they didn't do is deliver on having like a structure, anti-cheat, admin, schedule. They didn't deliver on none of that. And there was a lot of online. There was people blatantly cheating in these qualifiers. So a lot of the pro scene fucking hate how disinterested they were once they'd made the initial announcement and got all the press. So they don't get 2 thumbs up from me. They get 1. They had a financial commitment, but they didn't have an infrastructure commitment.
Are you talking about Blizzard or Fortnite?
No, I'm talking about Epic. Mate, Blizzard, like, fuck, man. I ain't got enough thumbs to point down with. Like, they fuck everything up. Right now, Activision Blizzard interns just fuck up every cup of coffee they make. It's a fucking joke how bad that company is. But Epic Games, what they were doing is, like, they did so much right, but then when it came to developing the esports, they really shit the bed. Like, look at that letter they put out about the mech. They told everybody, like, now we're leaving the mech in so everyone who's shit at the game can win at least once in their lives. You may as well sign that. Fuck esports. Like, it's dumb as fuck.
And it's an interesting mindset, right? Because something like the core demographic of Fortnite only gets like 1 kill per every 7 games. It's some insane number like that, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised to you.
Yeah, and so like you find it's like then like they wonder why they put in these like mechs because nobody can actually get any kills without them. I mean, dude, I played Fortnite. I played 9 games. I didn't get a single kill. You're goddamn right. I want a fucking mech in there.
You fucking boomer. Okay, boomer.
All right, like give me a fucking robot so I can shoot these kids, dude. Like this is ridiculous.
No, but that's what I mean. Because of motherfuckers like you playing the game, uninstall it, bruv. You're wrecking the game for everyone else, man. Like, you've got to fucking stop. The mech's for you, you shit cunt. That's the fucked up thing. You know what I mean?
I love it, dude.
No, but it's true. Like, and they even wrote a letter to the community saying that. You got your biggest streamers like Tim the Tatman, all these guys saying, you had courage, you had a fucking flip out, didn't he? He said, I'm not playing the game while the mech's in. And they wrote a letter saying, listen, mech's staying in because shit players got to win sometimes. Like, fuck that. That's so antithetical to what esports is about.
That courage freak out was legendary. That guy got butt detonated.
No, he was fucking pissed. That wasn't even for show neither. He was legit fucking raging.
Yeah, that guy was just over it. Oh my god, he was so mad.
And what about that Tim the Tatman clip where he literally got on a mech, turned his monitor off, got to kill him got about like 10 kills and won the game? Like, come on, man, take what? No, legit dog. Like,
that's what happened. Yeah, he literally turned his monitor off.
Holy shit! Okay, I didn't know it's like that, dude.
His players told him his teammates told him where to go, and then he just clicked and they won the game. Like, it was that broken.
Like, and you as the developer are going to come out and justify that being in the game? Like, fucking hell. I think about how people used to complain about slight balance problems in StarCraft, and Activision Blizzard was scrambling to try and fix it all the time. Pros were always complaining, but there was nothing equivalent to the mech in any other esport I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole new game. That's an I win button, pretty literally.
If I can elaborate here, this is actually, I would love to hear if I'm wrong on this, but how I perceived another major reason why Fortnite blew up so big was because, like, PUBG was so popular, but was so, like, continuously shitted on for being stagnant in improvement and being a buggy, unplayable fucking mess. Like, you had to have a 1080 for that thing to run decently. A keyword here, decent. Everyone agreed that it was unplayable. You could not stream it and play on the same PC. Like, you had to have a dedicated PC to game on, separate from your streaming one, to even run PUBG competently. And there was just it was so popular, but everyone would shit on how, like, if only someone did this, like, but better and possibly. And it wasn't even free either, right? It was $30 too, right? Like, there were just so many things people were putting up with from the shortcomings of PUBG, and then Fortnite came along and just, like, did, like, the whole accessibility factor way better with the rising popularity of the battle royale shooter.
But on the topic of that, I'm pretty stupid, so please explain this to me. Why didn't Minecraft blow up first? Like, Minecraft's such a family-friendly game.
It did.
Minecraft is a way different type of game.
Yeah, why didn't it make it more mainstream, like, as much as Fortnite is right now, you know? I know PewDiePie, all of them, they're huge on YouTube. But, like, if I were to talk to people, like,
Minecraft was huge in 2013. Like, you know, if you go back, like, when it first blew up.
It's still huge.
Well, I guess I didn't pay attention to it, so I'm a little out of the loop.
Okay, yeah, so wait.
I was on Xbox at the time.
Minecraft is literally the highest selling game of all time. It sold 176 million units. So
I just feel like Fortnite's more out there, I guess. Like, I don't know how to properly explain it.
I think no. I know what you're saying. Do you know why you think that? The way you think, it's just because of the marketing. Like, straight up, right? Because, like, Minecraft ain't never done no tie-ins with the NFL, right? But, like, fucking Fortnite has. Fortnite ain't, you know, Minecraft was never on, like, the late night show with Conan O'Brien or whatever. It was just big, and it was just,
that's because Conan O'Brien didn't want to bring on Notch the White Nationalist to do interviews.
Well, yeah, you know, whatever. Just saying. But no, the game weren't even featured there, right? But the reason they featured Fortnite was, like, super savvy, clever marketing. It is a different type of game. There's a competitive element to it. I know you can have competitive modes in Minecraft. But I just think the reality was, like, Minecraft was such a runaway success from fucking day one because people hadn't seen a game like this before. It was such a revolutionary concept. Like, it didn't need marketing. Like, there wasn't a kid of that generation that didn't play or try Minecraft. Like, straight up. So it was a much, much bigger game.
Actually, me.
It just didn't need to advertise like a Fortnite did or whatever.
Sorry,
everyone played it.
I personally didn't play it. Like, I was really, I only played Call of Duty, so my mind was just.
You never even tried Minecraft?
No, I played Castle Miner Z. Wow. That was it. So.
I'm in the same boat.
I'm way too old. Obviously, I can't touch it. I'm almost actually a boomer.
Yeah, Train, that's free content, bro.
That's like, the same as me. I played Minecraft recently, but back in the day, I never touched Minecraft. I was fully Diablo 2. Diablo 2 LOD. That's all I played, like, from the start to finish. So like, I never touched Minecraft.
Minecraft just seemed like such a children's game. Like, it didn't. Castle Miner was, like, the better version for me. It just seemed more violent, I guess, compared to Minecraft. I just thought, oh, 9-year-olds are gonna go play Minecraft.
I saw a video, right? Like, this is just completely derailing the topic, but I saw a video saying that Minecraft is problematic, right? Because apparently, if you want to populate a village, the only way to do it is you have to go to another village and like glitch the game. Like, you push a villager into a boat, and you build a river, and then basically have to kidnap people. Yeah. Right? You have to kidnap people, put them on a boat. The boat, it has to be something they can't get out of, and it has to float down. Is this people in the chat saying this is true? Like, I watched this video, and there was this whole video about it. This guy was going, "Is this problematic? Is this what we want to teach kids?" That, you know, and I was like, "Wait, dude, you going on a deep thing, bro? Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, how far off the deep end you are with that." But yeah, even Minecraft got by the fucking PC police. Like, apparently that was like a problematic game.
Really? Huh. That's crazy.
Something's always problematic to someone else. But yeah, but anyway,
especially when there's kids involved.
Minecraft's undoubtedly like the biggest game of all time. Like, it's changed everything. Fortnite only pivoted to be what it is now with the building mechanics in it because Minecraft proved that concept could work. Yeah. I mean, Fortnite was originally that, wasn't it? Before it became the BR, I should say.
Yeah.
Well.
Huh.
Sorry, I know that was like kind of retarded. I'm just so uncultured with Minecraft. I literally started playing this year, so it's.
I just fished when I played Minecraft.
I died of like wolves. I thought the wolf was a cow or something. It was a hard.
Man, I never knew how into that game people could get. Like, when I joined this company I'm with now called Nerd Fusion, pretty much like the whole basis of the staff here are like hardcore Minecraft people, and oh my god, you can go so hard on that game. Like, there are people that are like dedicated to building out these like mods that make different realities and stuff, and like take hundreds and thousands of I like there's people that have built like the Starship Enterprise to scale, just all kinds of like ridiculous shit.
Mate, the funniest thing in the world back in the day used to be watching them videos where like you were on those live servers where, like, if there was any mistake, anything fucked up, you couldn't take it back, and they'd invite somebody on, and then, like, someone had torched their shit, and they'd built, like, the fucking Sistine Chapel, or, like, something even like, something mental, like, a 2-scale replication of the city of California, and they just put the last brick on the bridge, and then some cunt comes along, sets it all on fire, and you just got to watch it burn, and it would just literally be, like, some 13-year-old, like, man, that was my crack. I used to love listening to that shit. That was so funny. Like, just listening to kids get tortured like that. That was fucking great YouTube content.
People get mad.
Oh, dude, people rage like no one's business. This was like a lifetime achievement. This was like someone's work. Like, they'd spent thousands of hours on it. You just burn it to the fucking ground. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Great game.
It's so mean.
So, to kind of bring this back, I want to ask one. This was on my mind during this conversation. I don't know why. You know, I kind of miss trick-or-treating. How old's too old to trick-or-treat, in you guys' opinion?
Train, just go buy candy.
Dude, there's actually a super sick hack. If you just fucking pop out a kid, you can just go with him.
I was going to say, yeah, dude, just...
I'm in Nebraska with Nathan around Halloween.
Godchild? Right, because here's the thing, too, right? Like, let's say you love Toy Story, and you wanted to go see Toy Story 4 this year, but you were embarrassed to go opening weekend because it was, like, parents and kids galore, and you're the only one above the age of, like, 16 going there alone. Dude, you bring your godchild, free pass night.
Yeah.
Gone entirely.
To answer to Michaela, I mean, listen, the idea of just go buy candy, it's kind of like stop opening cases, just buy the knife, right? It's more fun getting a bag of candy, not knowing what I'm getting, and see if I get any good shit, right? Because back when I used to trick or treat, I remember I used to glorify that one house every year that would always give you the big king-size candy bar or the whole pack of Sour Patch straws. Like, we all know what house it was, and it was a surprise each goddamn year. It was so fun.
So you just want the surprise element of it.
Yeah, I love surprises.
There's variety pack candies.
I mean, just two things, Train. If you, especially dressed like that, knocked on my door...
Okay, here we go.
Trick or fucking treat. I'm just calling the police. That's number one. Number two, before I came on the show, like, because the neighborhood I live in, we have, there's a lot of kids like live around here and families and that. Nice neighborhood, gated community, one of them. So they were fucking hammering the door. Like, I couldn't, I was like fucking trick or treat nonstop, right? But then this geezer brought his kid around. Kid's all dressed up, great costume, little devil costume. So I put the bowl down. And I'm giving him the candy, and like, oh, help yourself, and the kid puts in the hands, and I'll take a bit more. Go on, it's all right. Yeah. And then the fucking dad goes, "Oh, are them limited edition Reese's Pieces?" Now this cunt ain't even dressed up. He's got jeans and a shirt on, right? And a fucking, $100 haircut. And he goes, "Oh, I haven't even seen these. Can I get some?" And he helped himself to the bowl. I'm like, "What are you doing, man? That's for the kids. Like, what you haven't even got a costume on." Fuck that guy.
Did you confront him?
I nearly did. If his kid hadn't have been there. Like, you go around the corner while I talk to your dad. What's wrong with you, mate? You know what I mean? It was just ridiculous behavior. He literally
Richard Lewis punches a guy out that wants a kid.
It's just like, mate, no, do you know what I mean? Slow your fucking roll. Like, he literally said, though, "Oh, I've never seen that type of candy before. I'm just going to get some of them, yeah?" Like, not even asking.
Trihex, I want to ask you this question. As far as, since you're like a speedrunner since you are a speedrunner and you play, all the Mario games and, some of the Zeldas, what would you like to see? Like what's the next evolved step of these speedrunning games, of the Mario, sagas? Like what could they do to juice it up, to spice it up, to bring it back fully, right? Like the speedrunning community is in its own little corner. What can they do to bring it to to make it the next thing? Is there anything they can do? Like, do you have any ideas, game ideas, something that will just shoot it to the spotlight?
Are you asking? Let's clarify here. Are you asking me what could game developers do to cater more to speedrunning? Or are you asking how can speedrunning grow bigger and become more accessible and more mainstream?
I'm asking
two different goals.
What game? I guess it's. I'm wondering
It's tough to say. This is. I don't want to derail this whole thing into speedrunning and how the whole thing works with the lore and how one gets attached to the speedrunner and all the other shit. But if you could just give me a little bit more, I can maybe give you a better answer.
Basically, so speedrunning at one point was really, really big. It was huge. Before everything went spotlight, FPS, BRs. Speedrunning was really big, like in the Diablo 2 eras and when Minecraft released, even then, it was big. Those Mario games were big. Zelda was big. What can we do to bring that back? Obviously, if they release another Mario, only the speedrunner is going to be interested, or maybe casual players that play it off stream. But what can they do to increase their demographic? What can they do to have the casual players that Fortnite got attracted to come to that realm, to want to watch that and play it themselves? Is there a game they could create that kind of merges the two areas, speedrunning with an FPS? What can they do? Does that make sense? Is there any niche they can hit?
Well, it seems like user created content and accessibility in that you don't have to the static payment barrier, pay $60 to get the game, is kind of archaic now, as is proven by the success, the runaway success of mobile gaming by comparison. So if you make it free to play, monetize it through alternative means, make the barrier of entry very, very low, enable user created content that way, once people get into the ecosystem, they're compelled to express themselves within an ecosystem. You can have it just kind of go on forever. I would think. I mean, I don't know if that's kind of the answer you want there or not, but those things would lead to it wouldn't have the whole Twitch effect where a game a linear narrative based game comes out. Hypothetically a new Mario, like Mario Odyssey, and it's viral as fuck for maybe a month tops, and then after that, huge drop off. Only at that point speedrunners are playing it, which is expected and typical. But if there was a user created content section, if there was longevity in its conceptual execution, then new things happen, right? The tier 1 of the meta is you play the game as it is. Tier 2 is you're playing full game levels built by other people, and then it just continues to just create layers that are deeper and deeper from there. That's what comes to mind. I mean, even for Zelda, right? If there was I don't know, Breath of the Wild 3 hypothetically after the second one comes out, whenever it comes out, and you could you could make your own world, so people could make their own dungeons, or you can rearrange it to whatever you want. Yeah, I think people would go apeshit for that forever with some kind of clever dungeon maker utility and all that. And speedrunning would just continue to go further and further. It's always about expanding the pie. It's not about don't ever give the people exactly what they want. Surprise and blow them away by expanding beyond their own horizons. People usually confine to a box and their perspective of what they want out of games anyway.
In that same respect, Destiny, Do you think there's ever going to be a comeback of the classic games like Age of Empires, StarCraft, Warcraft 3, like this type of game style? Like, is this going to come back at any point? Yeah, like I miss those games. Those are the best types of games. Like, amazing. Age of Mythology. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. Age of Mythology was fucking amazing.
Oh my god, that game was so fucking
one of the
fun.
best games ever, dude. Like, are RTS is going to come back, or are we stuck in these more advanced, futuristic, play as the person type games instead of playing as, a third person or whatever the hell it might be?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to be the case right now. I don't know. Maybe we just need a good company to get behind it and then see what happens.
Is there a demographic for it? Is there a selling point? Do you think people are waiting, or are they kind of over it?
I think it super depends on like who makes a game. Like, I mean, there wasn't like a market for battle royales, and then people started making them, and now there is. There wasn't a market for MOBAs that much, and then people started making them, and others. So.
Well, here's the question: like, so if you follow the money trail, right, and like you see like what's in demand, what's selling, all that. Here's a hot take for you, or maybe not a hot take here, but like, do you guys find that the current direction now with AAA gaming is it in a bubble where it's like it could eventually just kind of like burst and crash? Or you have the over monetization of a bunch of things, the over fragmentation of content, where like everything now has a roadmap, a season pass, DLC, monetization, and like all kinds of predatory garbage thrown in there. Like it's all I hear about now. WWE 2K20 sucked ass.
Yo, that game is unreal how bad it was at launch, mate.
Yeah, it just goes on and on, right? Like I hear so much about how problematic launch day releases of AAA gaming games are now. Like Borderlands 3 had some problems.
Terrible. Couldn't even run it.
People are not stopping to buy it, so I mean.
So yeah, I'm just kind of wondering, like, is there a bubble going to crash?
I think how it's going to work is right. Like, so it's like everyone's seen that Steve Jobs clip, right? When he talks about when a company kind of peaks, and
the marketing department runs everything rather than the engineering.
There you go. Yeah. Well, that's been happening with gaming, right? Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. We move from innovative. Like, think about again. I'll use Blizzard as the example because my credit's absolutely zero. I should say my Chinese credit score is absolutely zero with them, but whatever. So the bottom line is like, do you remember when they used to give a shit? Do you remember when they used to make games that were fucking great and an expansion of their lore and innovative, and they just came out? They didn't even like do.
Pepperidge Farm remembers, dude.
They didn't do it to deadlines. They just made great games. I remember interviewing a Blizzard employee. It must have been in 2009. I said, when are you going to start focusing on esports? Because I think you're going to miss the boat. And they said, we don't give a fuck. This was literally the quote. We don't give a fuck about esports. We just make great games. Holy shit, how times changed 10 years later. Now it's about bang out that fucking Call of Duty, bang out this, that, the other, cash injections for Overwatch with some fake-ass Overwatch 2 they're putting out, which ain't a sequel to the game. Right, like they just don't give a fuck anymore. But then you go back and you play WoW Classic, this huge expansive world. Yeah, it's got problems, man. But the attention to detail, the level of work that went into it, like it's unbelievable. It's like day and fucking night. So what happens is these AAA companies reach tipping point, and eventually they're going to die because people are just going to get so jaded and pissed off with their shit that they'll eventually get bought by someone else, or they'll shut the shop, or Blizzard will shut down and you'll just have Activision. It'll be something like that, right? But then today's...
I'm sorry.
No. So I was just going to say, but today's company that are making the good games, right? The sad truth, mate, they're tomorrow's AAAs. Like, we think about PopCap, all the big acquisitions that have gone on. People make these cute little, like, awesome indie games that you love. They get bought out. They get put on the AAA fucking content mill, and then it's fuck you forever. It's how do I fit a microtransaction in? 2K Games is one of the saddest stories. Mm-hmm. Their sports games overtook EA Sports at a time when EA Sports made good games. I'm talking 2006. Go look at 2006. Go play Madden 2006. Go play Tiger Woods Golf 2006. Like, golf games that kids were playing. Like, everything they touched was gold. 2K came in. They made better games. Their original NBA games were sick. Their wrestling games were sick. All of their content sick. And now look at them. What is fucking NBA 2K now? Like, it's just a slot machine with a basketball game kind of attached to it, right? And they got no shame about it. And that's just what happens, unfortunately, because the money men take over the companies, just like Steve Jobs, who, by the way, I thought he was a prick, but, he was right about that.
It's because they're detached from it all. That's why. They have no idea what's going on. They're completely detached. They have no experience. They have no connection to the world at all. They can't relate. They don't know what people want. To them, it's just all monetary.
They're trying to farm dollars.
Yeah.
Could I ask? So obviously, modern day Blizzard Activision is like a shit show for a million reasons.
It seems that way.
But at some point, Blizzard, had the pride to like prioritize just making really good games. They weren't abiding by any kind of like strategic release schedule. Diablo 3, it's coming when it's ready. Like fuck off, right? At what point did this change? Was it? And I hate to like make it such like a black and white thing, but was it when Activision merged with Blizzard? Is that
feels like
it's been a slow coming process? But the thing is, the money got real. Like games used to be a joke, but now there's more money there than there is in the movie industry. And when that much money gets involved and that many investors get involved, you get people that start to make real tight ass demands of like what's going on. Before a bunch of guys could get together and kind of chill and it's all cool. I mean, you can draw parallels to the music industry, right? Like bands came from like guys kind of like playing in their garages. And then they got a little better. They played bigger shows, and that's where band came from. Now, kids are plucked out of school when they're fucking 1.5 years old. They're sent to training camps, and they sing, and then you get like the producers that are all lined up and everything, and like everything is way more fucking manufactured. As soon as you start to pour like a fuck ton of money into something, the process is going to become a lot more mechanized and a lot more soulless, I guess you would say. Yeah. I think it's just the natural like thing that happens when a ton of money starts to pour into an industry. That's always going to happen.
Well, to go further in on that though, like so here's the issue now, right? Like, so I look at Activision, for example, where I don't know, they released a banger Call of Duty, right? It's like this, and they got to do more. It's like, at what point does the bubble not collapse? Because like every quarter four, where they expect like the banger year over year, where we have another Call of Duty and we have now other Blizzard titles to back up and all that. We got to make more. We got to make more. We got to make more. And it's like, how much more can you really do? Like, how much growth is there really left in gaming this rapidly year over year to benefit each time without just further gouging your existing fan base, because you can't, this growth isn't sustainable, it seems.
To some extent,
you're not gouging
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say real quick, you're not gouging your fan base. That's the thing. Like, keep in mind that the people that are upset about this are only a small minority of people on Twitch. Like, that's it. For the most part, the fan base loves it. I mean, just look at the game sales. Like, we can say, like, it's kind of like when people are like, when are we finally going to be doing these shitty superhero movies? Like, people are tired of this shit. Like, they're done with it. No, they're not. I mean, these movies are fucking. It's like today, if your superhero movie doesn't cash in $1 billion fucking dollars, it's like, it didn't meet expectations. Like, holy shit. So I mean, like, I said the same thing. Actually, we might have even talked about this on one of our episodes where I was like, why is Disney making all these fucking remakes? Like, they're saturating the market. And I say that, but then you go back and you look at the box office, like, oh, Maleficent and The Lion King and all of these movies are doing $1 billion in sales. Oh, fuck, I guess I'm just fucking out of touch. And I think that's largely what's happening. Like, we don't know what the average, Xbox player is like. These guys aren't looking for cutting edge gameplay. They just want to come home from class or from school and just, hammer out, a few multiplayer games and then eat dinner and go to bed. Like, they don't really care
and if they spend $60 to acquire the latest Call of Duty once a year, like, it's no big deal. Like, I mean, all of us have heard somebody talk about like playing games, like a true casual, like not the ones like an actual casual, like an Uber driver that's like, oh yeah, dude, like I jam with Call of Duty. And it's like they log on their Xbox like once every week or two, and they just like pound out some games. Like that's it,
That's like me.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe maybe I'm a little more sensitive because I was like working at GameStop, so I know exactly whenever like Modern Warfare 2 happened in 2009, and like it became standardized that $15 of DLC got you 3 maps and that's it. And then I saw that transition further where it was like, well, now they're gonna lock more content behind the collector's edition that was $120, where you got the Call of Duty points and all the other bullshit. And then it went from that becoming the season pass, and from that becoming to where you got COD 4 remastered, exclusive to the higher edition of the game. And then from that, it was just like, I saw more and more shit. I'm like, man, they just continue to get away with more and more shit here. Like, is there not like a feedback of like rebellion? But again, maybe not. Maybe I'm just aware of like what they're doing because I'm so attentive to it. But you're right, I'm not the average consumer though. So obviously it's working apparently.
Yeah, I think that the vast majority of these issues around like even loot boxes and shit like that just skate past the average consumer. I doubt that. I mean,
it shows in mobile gaming too, because like
that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
I don't get it, but apparently Pokemon Go it's fucking money. Like when you have like a flat, like hey, $4, $4.99 for this mobile game or whatever. Like when it's like a what's the word here? A paywall to access it. People are hesitant because they're not engaged in it yet. But whenever it's like free to play and there's like a bunch of shit to like money's tethered to like abilities in the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Pokemon Go has made like a fuck ton of money since it came out in 2016. I don't have the number offhand here right now, but I remember I was like, damn, do people really buy Pokeballs that often, dude? Holy shit. Or whatever you can buy Pokemon Go.
Dude, that's why mobile games are like so successful. Those companies like that China owns and all the other like, dude, they are
microtransactions.
Billionaires.
Well,
dude.
what I mean by that too is it's not even Pokemon Go's not even an aggressive game though. Sometimes it's not a gacha game, or at least from my knowledge, it's not. Like there are gacha games that just like go all in on like trying to fuck your wallet as hard as possible. Pokemon Go doesn't even do that, and it still has made a fuck ton of money.
I just thought of a stick lane, but it wouldn't be a lot of things that people would want to do. You know how the guy who's the tech guy who reviews every single fucking phone, Unbox Therapy.
Is that Linus?
Oh,
I was gonna say Linus too.
Lester, yeah.
What about if there was an Unbox Therapy type guy who made YouTube videos and all he did to get big was review every single mobile game, and he played them a lot, and he just uploaded constantly. By the time he got like a decent fan base, he would just get like the biggest fucking offers to play every mobile game and put them in their YouTube series.
But isn't that technically what Markiplier does?
Does Markiplier play a lot of mobile video?
Well, not mobile games, but just games in general.
Yeah, I know, but for mobile though, mobile they pay like fucking what? Triple, quadruple?
Oh, by the way, I have some mystery out here. As of yesterday, actually, this article's written about this yesterday. Pokemon Go crossed 3 billion in revenue.
Jesus.
I've never played Pokemon Go. So can you explain to me what is there any predatory money making mechanics in it?
Actually, no. You can.
Yeah,
you don't have to spend anything in order to like go around and try to catch Pokemon. You just go to the Pokemart.
You just gotta run the risk of getting mugged.
Well, no. Here's what happens, right? If I recall correctly, you have to like physically walk to the nearest like Pokestop or whatever, or Pokemart to acquire more Pokeballs to be able to capture more Pokemon.
Right.
But if you want to like walk into the nearest mart, you can just spend $20 and get like a fuck ton of Pokeballs and Poke Treats to throw at Pokemon. Sorry, it's a lot of pokes here, but
I mean, the cool
this is way too many pokes, dude.
The cool thing about
that is like I'm poker fucking blowing out my mind. This is
dude,
ridiculous.
honestly, in my opinion, like the cool thing about Pokemon Go is they only release some Pokemon during certain seasons, and also some Pokemon can also only be caught in different like areas, different states. That's like such a cool thing, like gatekeeping that to kind of prove like who's going in harder and putting in more time, and really like I love that kind of game style, and I feel like it's being removed from most games today. Everything's accessible very easily with the shortest amount of time, and I feel like that's what's killing a lot of mainstream games that used to be popular but now are dead.
Yeah. Do you remember when like the whole like Pokemon came out and then like everybody went outside for a while? Even like even
2016?
Nerds?
Yeah. Summer 2016 was crazy.
Like nerds that like actually never even left their house were like running around and talking to each other in parks, and it like for a while like it was like we had world peace.
No, it was good, man. That's why I brought up the mugging thing, because there was some like it's not hilarious that someone got mugged. But it is hilarious that the person who's getting mugged is going, no, I'm just trying to get the Snorlax, bro.
Yeah.
And there's a guy like, full on, no, listen, mate, give me your fucking wallet and your phone. Like, no, that was some funny shit. But yeah, like, no, it was a good concept.
They're rare.
It was a good concept, isn't it? Yeah, like,
yeah.
But I was just gonna say, Try, to your point about like, and oh no, sorry, it was Dev. You said about like you think the average gamer it doesn't sink in about predatory stuff. I think you've got to start looking at how people are starting to turn on FIFA. Do
you think the average gamer is turning on FIFA?
Yeah, like legit. I think it reflects in the sales figures too, man.
This is true because EA's 2018 annual release revealed that actually over 55% of their revenue comes from in-game transactions.
Yep.
Like in-game transactions are actually dwarfing their vanilla game sales. That's crazy.
Damn. Okay, but the FIFA thing is actually like insane, right? Like it's like ridiculous how.
No, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen. In fact, it's the patient zero of all the mainstream games, like on console and PC, not mobile. But it's the patient zero, basically, of all the insane microtransaction bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mate, my producer who does my show, Sam. He's like not even that into it, but he still spent £1,000.
Excuse me, sorry.
What?
He still spent £1,000, and by the time
this year, like in 1 year,
Yeah, in 1 year.
What?
And then what happens is the mad part, right? Because like, okay, if it's an investment, you don't get to keep a single player from that team you build. You buy the next year version and you start from zero again.
Oh my god!
So the hook ain't even that deep with him. Go look at the stories. You get kids like straight fucking robbing their mom's fucking credit card in the middle of the night, like because they want to get fucking whoever they're getting now. They want to get a fucking gold Messi or whatever. You know what I mean? And if they don't get it, then like they don't think they can win online because they're playing up against other credit card kiddies. Which, by the way, it was proven what Activision and EA have got is they got a patent, right? So if you don't have a good card or a good gun, they deliberately pair you with somebody who does. So
they did this for Destiny.
Yeah. So you get wrecked, and then you go, shit, man, I better spend some money, man, or I'm never going to beat these kids. And they literally patented that technology.
I don't think it was quite as bad with Destiny, but I think what they would do is, I think if you viewed, this was actually confirmed too. I think that if you view a weapon in a shop, you had a higher likelihood of being paired up with people that had that weapon on the enemy team. So if they killed you with it, you'd see it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some fucking next level psychology shit. Yeah.
The patent was for algorithm-based matchmaking.
Yep, correct.
Based off of various factors, including any guns looked at highlighting in the shop for a certain amount of time. Yeah,
it's
very problematic long term. Like
beyond
so
man.
Synthetic.
Yo, it's so fucked up, dude. Like, they're literally, especially when you think about the average age, because, like, here's the thing. I don't mind. You want to do that shit on FIFA? Fine. But the problem is, because it's soccer, it's, like, universal. You can start these kids super young, because it's all ages. Now, if you take the 18, take the R-rated or whatever the fuck, because you're selling a casino to these kids. There's loot boxes, there's microtransactions, there's algorithms that deliberately pair you up with people who are going to have better teams, straight wreck you. Also, as well, on top of that, they have that thing called scripting in FIFA, which is literally, right, if you go 3-0 up in 15 minutes because your team is, like, bodying someone, then you just can't score. It's just off the post, off the crossbar. Like, passes go missing. The ball goes through 3 people. This is also proven. Like, go look at it. And they're doing that, right? So everyone kind of has a chance. You'll probably still win, but everybody gets just enough incentive to stay in to spend their money. FIFA is the most predatory video game of all fucking time. It's pure evil. And the more you look into it, the worse and worse it is, mate. It's beyond a joke.
Oof. Well, can I ask you a question? I don't know anyone here. I don't know anyone who's like playing Fortnite routinely. At least like anyone like young or whatever. Can anyone tell me about like the criteria of like the youth, like sub 18-year-olds who are asking for mom's credit card to buy V-Bucks? Is it like obviously you're bringing up here now like the idea that like we have predatory practices in video games and these younger gamers are being told, hey, you need to spend money to get this gun or get these cosmetics or whatever, whether it be predatory or not. Are kids actually going to their parents and begging for V-Bucks or begging for the credit card?
I think it's something similar to, like back in our generation, this makes it sound old. If someone had a favorite sports player, they would want to go buy that sports player's jersey. They'd want to go buy that sports player's this or that. Or they'd want to, if they played soccer, they buy balls, shin guards, flashy jerseys, flashy shoes. Instead, this is being replaced in video games now. People are going outside less, at least what I'm assuming. I don't know the statistics. Now it's being transitioned to games. People, instead of spending money on this or that, they want to spend it on a new skin. They want to spend it on a new gun, a new this in-game. So that's what I think's going on, just logically kind of thinking about it.
Like, the Fortnite ones, like, actually, I would buy one if I played. They're just so appealing. Like, there's some blue one they made. I would ask my mom for money.
So just understanding, like, when I was young, what I wanted more than anything else was like Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, I'd be like, exactly. Look, I got good grades. Like, but these kids now they're okay with like having that same urgency of desire for digital goods.
Yes.
Yeah, especially to be like with their friends.
That's what I'm assuming, at least. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I'm assuming. It makes sense. Man, Pokemon cards, man, those are the days. Just going to Fry's.
How much did I piss away on Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, dude? Holy fuck.
They have them at every store when you check out, like those bundles they'd sell.
In the cigarette aisle, right there, front and center.
Time.
Dude, I used to smell the packaging right when I opened it, smell inside the card. Hope I Hope I get the Hope I get the Charizard, dude.
Alright.
Dude, I remember when I got my Charizard.
In the toy aisle? I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off.
No, it was everywhere. It was toy aisle. It was in the card area where basketball cards were. Really?
It didn't. Okay, look, we're going back in now. Okay, look, 2003. I remember because I was like mad active, and you get this time here. Walmart used to carry those trading card games in the toy aisle, not by the cigarette aisle. So I'm not saying I did it, but I knew a bunch of kids who would definitely go back there and like bust open some packs, open them up, put the package wrappers underneath the aisle shelving unit, and then like piece of oh, dude, these kids were insane, dude. 8th grade kids, dude, they didn't give a fuck, dude. They knew all the blind spots were. They would open the cards, go to the ceiling fan aisle in the hardware section where there was like because the ceiling fans like that were like actually built mounted above the aisle obscured the security cameras, and so there was a complete blind spot. You can go there and just fucking do whatever the fuck you want, and then throw the shit in there and peace out. Oh yeah,
that's amazing.
I've never done. Yeah, that's crazy.
I wish I had done that. I would have saved so much money. What the fuck?
Y'all want more? So. The garden section, right? You know, the outdoor garden area that's like enclosed by a chain fence, essentially. At one point, again, Walmarts have gotten smarter since then, but at some point you're able to walk into the garden section. There was no checkout scanners to be anti-theft. They were on the exit of the caged garden center area, not your entrance into the caged outdoor area. So you can just go by there, have an accomplice on the other side of the fence, where there's like a visible like.
It concerns me how well you know.
Yeah,
this.
he's so precise. He knows exactly.
You're like, what happened? If you walk 13 feet with a blindfold, you'll find.
Oh my god! Of course. Obviously, because I know about it, I did it.
Yeah, very suspicious how he knows exactly what's going on.
Come on, bro! I tell you about this shit, and y'all gonna call me. Y'all gonna. I obviously did it. No, I didn't do it. I promise you. No, I just had a friend who like walked me through it because he was like, he actually wanted me to like join him in like this giant stealing ring because he was gonna sell the cards to the kids at school. And I was like, this is like way too much for me, dude.
And this is how
the story keeps getting like one up, like over and over again. Like, you know, he needed to make more money because he couldn't keep up with the guns he was buying for his fucking crack operation.
So we had to push this person down the stairs so that they would pay us.
Dude.
Yeah. The worst part about them finding like the open packs of Pokemon cards is when they'd find the bodies littered amongst them after we had to kill people for our local drug trade. Like, Jesus.
Dude, the worst.
He wanted me to join his ring. He wanted because okay, I'm sorry. All right, look, no snitches here. His name was Brian, fat white kid. He wanted me to join him really, really bad because he wanted a second pair of eyes to make the operation safer. He wanted to steal CD players. He wanted to steal Pokemon cards. He wanted to steal everything. Like, he didn't give a fuck. And if I was there with him, it was like, you know, tenfold safer to do so. Yeah, so he wanted me to be the guy on the inside the fence. You know, that way when he opened up the cards in the garden center, he would throw them he would throw CD players, MP3 players, Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh cards underneath the chain fence, and I'd be on the other side to grab it and peace out. The whole thing would be done in less than 5 seconds.
The worst thing I went through was
fucking Oceans.
Seriously, dude. The worst thing I went through was the older kids used to try and like scam you, right? Like, so if I had like a holographic Gyarados or like a Charizard, they'd come in with some like trash card and try and convince me that this card does something special, and this writing and these numbers in the bottom left make it ultra rare. And they try and scam me for my shit, dude. And it worked once. It worked once with Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, I had this card called like Regiki or something. It cleared. Yeah, it cleared all cards on the board for the enemy team or for everyone. And it was such a good card at the time. I had no idea. He traded me some like dark magician that you get out of one of those fucking box packs that everyone gets. I got fucked. And the worst part is, it was my cousin's best friend. I was pissed, dude. To this day, I remember who the fuck it was exactly. He's in my mind.
Dude, stealing Pokemon cards, that shit ruined fucking friendships. Holy shit. Yep. People that would steal fucking cards from people, what the fuck? And you know it was them, too, because the motherfuckers could never keep it secret that they had, like, a new card or whatever, and they don't, fuck that shit.
You're not wrong, dude.
I remember taking my little brother to one of them, like, live tournaments, right? And we all got briefed before we went, like, you know, don't show that you're carrying your folder or nothing, like, outside. I think it was down in London or whatever. So it was like, we all got told, like, people are waiting outside of the venue to fucking jack people's Pokemon cards. Like, so you just got to be super careful, you know? So yeah, I took my little brother to one of them tournaments. It was fucking surreal. Like the level of security around it was crazy. It was like guards up front. Like it was.
People collect them for. I used to collect them for a living, so I can understand. Like you have the huge binder of like hundreds of them. I would literally kill someone if they like stole my best card. You know, that'd break my heart. Well, I wouldn't actually kill someone, but like, obviously, like it's so heartbreaking to lose one card in your little binder. It's like.
Wait, can I ask you?
Can I get a squad W from Train here? Michaela just said she would literally kill somebody for stealing a Pokemon card. I said I'd kill a kid for DDoSing me. I get articles written about me. I bet nobody's going to say shit about her saying that. Fuck this double standards bullshit right here.
Squad W.
No. The Dexerto guy takes every opportunity he can to write Tyler One's girlfriend in the title. So I guarantee you he would. He does it every time. If there's ever a moment he gets to write Tyler One in the title, he'll do it. So,
does the publication really do that?
That website is fucking trash.
It's pretty bad.
It is trash, dude. Oh my god.
He does it for the views.
Well, speaking of this,
he doesn't use your name. He
says Tyler One's girlfriend Michaela, so he gets more clicks on.
I saw that article.
I work there as a freelancer. If you tell me who's writing these articles, I'll tell the editor that's completely unacceptable.
I flamed him. He changes my name now, but I mean, he did it for the longest time. Like I understand.
I did see you say something the other day. I saw a clip of you. I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong here, by the way, because I might be. But I saw a clip of somebody complaining, saying like, "Oh, I don't need the coverage, so please stop writing about me." Was that you?
No, not recently. I bitched about it.
It was like I don't know, like 3 weeks ago.
No, probably not.
Oh, it can't have been you then. Oh, was it Maya? My bad. Sorry. I don't really.
No.
Off on somebody that was.
Yeah, and I was just like, listen, as a public figure, you definitely don't get to say like, I don't need the coverage. Because here's the other thing as well. Like a year from now, when no one knows who the fuck you are, you begging for the coverage. So definitely don't do that. But like, yeah, anybody who refers to like an independent person as somebody else's girlfriend or somebody else's spouse, that's just bad from an editorial perspective.
Well, I can understand why it looks bad in your perspective sometimes, but at the same time, like, before I met him, I only had like 50 viewers. So it's true, no one would technically know who I am if it didn't say Tyler One's girlfriend.
Nah,
like,
they shouldn't. Nah, listen.
Why would you click the title if it said Michaela, or would you click it if it said Tyler One?
They could use your name, say who you are, and then do a separate paragraph fleshing out context, saying that you have a relationship with one of the top streamers. Like it's very easy to do without coming off like a cunt. I mean, what you have to remember is like Deserto. Okay, so I'm a freelancer, so I'll criticize them as much as the fuck I want. If they ever want to get upset about it, I'll just go write for somebody else. I don't give a fuck. Like, everyone wants my shit, so it's all good. But the reality is, like, there's not really a lot of editorial oversight on the more clickbaity stuff they do, and they know they do clickbaity stuff. But like, they do need an editor that's gonna, like, pull them up by their bootstraps, because they've had a couple of stories now. I want to say a couple. I mean, I'm doing them a favor there. It's way more than a couple, where it's like this bad editorial practice, like for example referring to you as Tyler One's girlfriend and only that's unacceptable. But not just that, like some of they've got details wrong. They just get details out and out wrong, and it's like that's no, that can't fly.
The misrepresentation kind of gets me. Like, they made an article about me today, and I was doing like a kind of a bit where I was talking about how streamers are lazy. And they made it like sound super horrible, and they misquoted like just like one portion of the clip, and that stuff's like pretty annoying.
Yeah, it's very irritating when they take things out of context and but that's always going to be the case when you're a streamer or.
Speaking of these articles that are taken out of context, what happened with Kotaku? I saw they're gone.
Wait, nah, it's overhyped.
Are you sure?
Gone.
I heard they've shut down.
Yeah. Nah,
what?
It's not true.
No, it's not true.
Nah, like again, I feel bad because like.
Where's the site then? This site is down.
I don't know if I've talked too much. Nah, like no. What happened was, so Jason Schreier, Jason Schreier, you know the guy I described him the other day on the stream. He looks like John Oliver if he was conceived with a weak sperm. That guy, the one Dr. Disrespect's always taking the piss out of.
Yes.
Well, they got upset because they've been bought out by this new media company, right? And they started putting these ads on the channel that were autoplay ads, like the bad old days, like 1999 on Alta Vista, when it was like, smash this iPhone, and you couldn't get away from it, like one of them. And they're doing that because they've bought basically a bunch of shit websites that these journalists have run into the ground by publishing garbage. So they, without even consulting with the new owners, publish an article saying, these adverts are terrible. We agree with you. This is how you cancel these adverts, these commercials, these pop-ups, whatever, and make sure you don't get them again. And they published that. And they said also, if you want to complain about it, here's our CEO of the media company that owns us. Here's his email.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they published that across multiple sites. So guess what happened? It got took down. And then what Jason Schreier did said, well, it's been nice. It's been nice working at Kotaku, I suppose. Like, no one's talking about shutting down the website, by the way. It's just petulant from these it's petulance from these journalists. Because they've had it too good for too long. They get to write any old shit they want. There's literally articles on Kotaku. I stuck a game controller up my ass. This is what it felt like. Mate, come on, man. I don't want. Tell me what the game's like. Tell me how the controller actually works. Not as a dildo, but as a games controller. Wouldn't that be nice? And they've got away with it for 5 years, and the new companies come in, and they're trying to make them do actual work, and now they're having a mardy ass tantrum about it.
Let's hope so. I mean, these motherfuckers have the biggest clickbait titles in the world, and then they have fucking 20 misspellings and 60 grammar issues that they keep re-editing because they want to get it. Like, these guys have to be getting paid per article because they're pushing like 20 out a day each. And they're all fucking trash. Absolutely trash. Like,
are they making any like real money off this shit? Like are they like a hugely I don't really know like the media, like Richard Lewis, like you'd probably know everything about this. Like, are they turning over money a lot on these websites? Like, does I guess like they're still probably making money off of ads, right?
I feel like I talk way too much though. Like, but like, so I'm sad that this topic is my area of expertise. So sorry about that, everybody. But yeah, just to be as succinct as I can, they bought this. All of these, the entire portfolio was making a loss. It was the Gorka portfolio, so it was basically the one that Hulk Hogan literally leg fucking dropped into oblivion because Pete Thiel funded his lawsuit. Yes, the website that said to a fucking judge when the judge ruling said you got to take that sex tape down, and they went, "No, we ain't doing that." That's how dumb they were. So they drove them. You know, they were on the brink of oblivion. Geo Media came in, bought them up. And now they're saying, if you want to work in Kotaku, you write about games. If you want to work at Deadspin, you write about sports. And they've also realized, shit, we don't get as many clicks as we thought we did, so we better auto-play our ads. So they're trying to scramble and make it financially viable. Because these bloggers unioned up recently, they're saying it's against the terms of their fucking union rules. It ain't, by the way, spoiler. So that's what they're having this back and forth about, and that's why they're all having a tantrum. But Kotaku and Deadspin, as far as I know, both made profit. But within the context of the portfolio, that don't mean shit.
That's crazy.
Interesting, huh? So, like, do these? Because I know, like, a lot of the big news platforms are struggling, like just like the traditional media, right? And I would assume that the only way those articles are making money is off of CPM, like, which must not be that high, like for all the.
No,
like,
it's not just CPM. Yeah. They do loads. Like, you ever seen those fucking takeovers? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where, like, okay. They do loads of that. They do pop-ups now. Like, that's come back. They do that annoying thing where it's like when you click on a website, it goes, "I see you're using an ad blocker." Like, get the fuck out my face. Of course I am. Because of this shit.
Back in the golden age of mobile web, when nobody knew how to serve ads to like mobile platforms, and you could browse everything on like your Android and iPhone and shit, you'd nenever see ads at all because they just didn't have the tech to serve them. I remember those days.
And then you wonder why your phone was slow, and it turned out you didn't see a pop-up, but they put viruses on there, so it was full of malware. Yeah, those were the good old days.
Yeah. Meanwhile, now it's like I get an article and it happens to go to USA Today, and it's an unbrowsable pile of shit where I can't even disable the plea to subscribe to the premium version. And when I get rid of that, the other ad pops up that I can't even. That's auto playing and audible, and I can't get rid of it either to fucking read the shit. Yeah. Wall Street Journal, same fucking shit. It's like, oh my fucking god,
they're all like that now. And listen, I sympathize, right? Because it's how they're keeping the lights on. But man, like, you got to come up with a better. You got to come up with a better model.
Dude, yeah, it's garbage.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's just that simple. Like, if you can't move with the market, this is what I hate about like. Right. There's a lot of people in capitalism that they go, oh, capitalism's great. Like, it works for us. They're on top, right? Then somebody comes up with something new and it wrecks their business. And then they go, no, but we're going to go out of business. Yeah, you didn't move with the times. You get fucked now. Welcome to the big boy leagues. This is capitalism. This is how it works. Like, I remember they did it with, you said you worked at GameStop, right? Mm-hmm. So do you remember how all those game companies like lobbied together to try and shut down Steam and come up with an agreement? Yeah, you go look that up. Yeah,
that's one thing. There's a similar one here too with the idea that whenever the DVD came out, right, and it was like the value of a DVD was like intrinsic to whether it offered a digital copy and bonus features. And the greed of the big six multimedia companies couldn't agree on like making a unified platform to have the digital copies delivered to. So whenever they just didn't do it, there was no innovation had, things were stagnant. Then they all had to go crawling, begging for Apple to use the iTunes platform to deliver those digital copies of those movies back in the mid 2000s.
That's right. Yeah,
they couldn't figure it out. Their heads are too far up their asses ultimately.
So it's like I don't know, man. I feel there's just like so much stuff relating to this. Like, I'm sympathetic. I don't want journalists to be bankrupt. I mean, good journalists that do work. But like these ones, Deadspin and Kotaku, I said it the other night on my stream. That was the one I had to delete the VOD because I went off on Alabral and I didn't want to chance it. But I said like, I said then. Well, I didn't know how far is too far. Like I said, he looks like, what was it, a fucking potato with pubes stuck into something. I don't know. I went a bit mad. Like I lost my mind. But anyway, the point is this. Like, those people do need to spend some time on the streets. Like, legit. They need to get some perspective. They get $50,000 a year with full benefits minimum, guaranteed. And what they do is they get to write about whatever they want. And it's not even serving their core audience anymore. So what they do is they write some bullshit, and it's like, tell me if Fire Emblem's good. I want to know. Don't tell me how Fire Emblem is problematic because it's got a Trump-like storyline in the middle of it, and then write about what you had for breakfast that day and how shit your life is. Tell me about the game. But they don't have to do that because they wrote it into their union contracts that the owners can't tell them what to do. Now, these new owners have come in, and they're like, listen, we want gamers on Kotaku. We want sports writers on sports fans on Deadspin. And they're having a tantrum because they can't write about what they want to write about. And they're trying to justify it by going, well, on Deadspin, our political content gets more clicks. Mate, do porn then, if it's all about clicks. I'll click on Deadspin, you got Goatsy on there or whatever. Like, fine, it'll get more clicks. If the clicks is all it is, but it isn't about that. They're trying to streamline their fan base. So it's bullshit. And unfortunately, these last 5 years, journalism's become like a cabal or a cartel of like just weird fucking coastal motherfuckers that they all sit on a Slack group with each other and they just tell whatever lies they need to tell to fuck anybody over that challenges them. And unfortunately, they think they have a right to earn $50,000 a year and write whatever they want on a sports website, even if what they write isn't sports. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. There's no oversight. That's why.
Why do you still like write for Deserto and shit?
Money.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
Let me ask you guys this question to kind of move topics here. So to get back to the gaming section, so BlizzCon's going on right now. We're gonna be seeing Overwatch 2.
Wait. Is it going on now or it starts tomorrow?
Starts tomorrow.
Friday,
yes.
Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, but everyone's there partying already. They're together. People are IRL streaming. Overwatch 2. That's being announced, or it's being like released. We have Diablo 4. We have the World of Warcraft new expansion, Return of the Lich King. How do you guys feel about these games? I mean, do you see any hope in this?
What the fuck is Overwatch 2? What is that?
Overwatch.
What is that supposed to be? Is that like
basically
like a one-person story PvE?
Yeah, it contains a campaign and a cosmetic upgrade for $60.
Yeah,
but it's a separate game. Like, can you log into the same game, or is it like a totally separate game?
It's an add-on, basically. It would be called DLC if they had a spine.
So they're basically giving us a total new game to buy, and they're charging full price.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait till you see the microtransactions that are in it. My sources told me about. Rod ain't talked about that Slasher. I was hoping he was going to be here so I could fucking roast him. But let me tell you, one of the things they said internally that my sources have told me, they said this is basically a one-off cash injection to offset. Like, no one's buying them loot boxes in Overwatch. They ain't making no money off it no more. Players are down, so they're putting out a fake sequel essentially to basically encourage people to spend money on the game again. But it's all PvE.
I think it's gonna go downhill. I don't think it's gonna work out the way they think it's gonna work out.
It's Activision Blizzard, it never does. You know?
I mean, I'm praying to God, Diablo 4. I have not even 1% of faith, of any sort of positivity or optimism that they're gonna do it right. There's no way Blizzard 2019 is going to create the game that Diablo 2 was at all. Like, Diablo 3, I mean, I don't know. Do they know this? Like, does Blizzard, does the Diablo section, when they look at Diablo 3, do they know that it's trash? Like, it's not even like, listen, I'm not even talking from a bias, let's shit talk them for lol W's. I'm saying it is objectively a trash game. Even the people that play it to make their money or to play it to enjoy it, they know it's trash. What are they going to change with Diablo 4? What's pressuring them? Do they listen? Are they going to bring back the old days? What the fuck's going to happen with Diablo 4? Does anyone know?
Dude, okay, so there was I'm sure this is false now because I looked into it. Hopefully Richard could impact this a little bit. If you have any, I heard that they were going to make a third-person FPS, and it was so bad that I almost believed it. It got scrapped?
Thank God. Oh my God.
I heard they were going to make it, and it was going to have these taglines like, unleash your inner demons. And it was going to be like this, they were going to fight, you were on the side of, they're going to fight the angels because the angels took over. It was some terrible shit, dude. I was so scared.
I think there's a little bit of confusion about that because they were developing one anyway for another project. And I think it was about what IP they slapped on it internally. Again, going off what my sources were telling me. But yeah, I think they were developing something like that, and there was talk about it being a Diablo game. Yeah,
that's so scary.
Here's what's crazy about them 4chan leaks: 50% of them already are true.
They already happened. Yeah,
Fuck
they already
that.
happened.
The other 50% will break your heart if they turn out to be true.
Yeah, there was this whole thread that was the whole state of Blizzard internally is just crazy. No one's allowed to talk negatively about anything. There's these negativity officers who are basically, I don't know if any of this is true, right? But it's supposedly a disgruntled Blizzard employee. And but they were the ones that called the races in that were going to come out in World of Warcraft. They called the Volpera, and they called the other one the Mechonomes or whatever. And that came true, and so I don't know, man. It sounds. I'm very scared for Diablo 4.
I looped in after them 4chan links with some Blizzard employees, and I said, "Is there any way that if you worked on Overwatch, or you worked on Diablo, or you worked on this and you worked on that, you would hear what other development teams are doing?" And they're going, "Yeah, it's a fucking shit show over it. It's like a Chinese fire drill. Everyone talks to everyone around the fucking water cooler. Yeah, we all know what everyone's doing." And we all laugh about it. Loads of us want to leave. And I was like, so that 4chan leak, that could be legit? They were like, listen, wait and see. Fuck.
Oh, God.
So, I don't know, man. I did a whole video, debunking it, saying it wasn't going to be true. And then Blizzard people reached out to me and said, listen, just don't be so sure, man. It's crazy over here right now, so.
Oh, no, dude.
I
don't know.
Hong Kong, and it's crazy out here.
No, they didn't mean Hong Kong. No, it's crazy out here in glorious China. These Hong Kongs they're fighting for freedom. It's outrageous. No, it wasn't like that.
Oh, what are they doing? I'm sorry, this is really off topic, but what are they doing tomorrow, you think, for the protests and whatnot? Do you think there's gonna be extra security or
Oh yeah. Yeah, there has to be. Because I heard there's people that are flying to BlizzCon just for protesting. They're just there to do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's their whole deal. They're just there to do that.
It's going to be such a shit show.
It's a really well-organized protest. It's not just people who are going to BlizzCon. It's people who are going to BlizzCon to protest. Yeah. It's insane how big it is.
Oh man, I just thought of a great idea, but it would be too shit on. It would be cool to do an IRL stream to actually protest. But if you're taking light of it's such a serious situation. It would be a little bit too edgy, I think.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be too risky to like go there in IRL stream. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they forbid it. You're not allowed to IRL stream.
Where is this?
Outside of BlizzCon?
Yeah.
I know. I don't know. I don't know what the rule is outside of the venue. But they've told people you can't do it out there.
What about this? Tell me if this is like far fetched. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What if I went outside of BlizzCon, streamed the protest as is, didn't make any wise ass remarks, just captured it, and all the donations or subs I get, I like put that towards like a Hong Kong charity. Do you think that would be allowed?
I mean, if they agreed to allow you to stream, they wouldn't care where the money was going. But I think right now, because I wanted to co-stream it, and we got told the only thing we can show is the opening ceremony.
I'm just talking about outside the actual protests.
I mean, technically, if the protest is in an area that isn't owned or controlled by Blizzard and they have the right permits, they can't do anything.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah,
that's true, right? I don't know. Whatever. I think it's like.
I think it'd be wicked if you went there, mate. I think it'd be good to see what the protesters are doing. It's going to be big, though. By the way, it's not going to be like 5 guys.
Yeah. It's not going to be Area 51.
Yeah, it's not like that doing a Naruto run like one fat dude. It ain't going to be like that. It's going to be a real protest, mate.
Yeah, I didn't want to like do it just to exploit the situation, but I just thought of it as a cool idea. You know, whatever. It's maybe not worth it.
I'm still really praying that Diablo 4 is good. If Diablo 4 is good, I'll be so happy, dude. I want that auction house back. If they don't do an auction house, then I want BOE items. I want different stats. I want it reforged. Like, I want good stuff.
Can I ask you this? So disappointed.
Yeah.
It's just
I can't help but think that Diablo 4 was announced in reaction to the lack of it being announced last year, and the fact that they announced Diablo Immortal and confirmed that there was no D4 announcement at this time. I think once that reception was so fucking sour, they literally panic greenlit Diablo 4 when they weren't really prepared to do so. So whatever you're gonna see this year is gonna be like a rushed spaghetti bullshit of nothing of merit.
And aren't they?
I could be wrong here. I mean, maybe they can knock it out here, but I would suspect that it was greenlit for the wrong reasons, for inorganic reasons, to save face.
Dude, if they
the last BlizzCon was so bad that they were just like, "Oh my god, we have to do something."
Well, the reactions from Immortal were terrible.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. How are you gonna close out that segment with that, dude?
Dude, you know what drives me crazy?
If you
one fucking
like
intern. One intern with a fucking like literally just like a graphics design intern just put a picture of a fucking orc or something, or like a devil or whatever, like a Diablo devil, and then put Diablo 4 like Elder Scrolls did for Bethesda. They just put up TE6 and everyone went nuts. Yeah, like my god,
so easy to win that.
It would have been so simple.
There wouldn't even been a backlash to Diablo Immortal if it wasn't closing that segment for BlizzCon.
Yeah, they're like, that's all we got. See you later. It's like, what?
It was a random press junket that happened like 4 days prior to BlizzCon. No drama. Okay, yeah, you're gonna make money. Whatever, dude. What the fuck?
What I don't understand is, at this point, the Diablo team, like, I hope they see this. The Diablo team has nothing to lose. Diablo 3 is shit. They probably lost 80% of their Diablo player base. 20% plays it because it's all that they want to play that's left. At this point, why strive so far away from what all of your games used to be? Why not just at this point, with how shit everything's gotten to, just reskin Diablo 2 LOD, add a new expansion, add some lore, add 3 more acts, but keep it the same game. Everything identical to the same game. Release it. Just release it.
Why the fuck would I do that when I can make Diablo 2 remastered?
Because Diablo 2 remastered, because it's not gonna be the same. Like, you need more acts. You need more more story, more lore. Diablo 2 remastered, I'd rather just go play Diablo 2 LOD with that shitty graphics, because that was part of the game being good. You have to release a whole different game and add 3 acts. That's just, and basically Diablo and Diablo 2 Diablo 2 LOD, the only difference between the two games was new items and one additional act. Instead of 4 acts and Diablo being the last boss, you add.
See, what I'm hearing right now are like, I'm hearing fanboy reasons. I didn't hear like money reasons why what I was saying was wrong.
I mean, there's that's why they
just checking.
That's why that's probably the answer to my question to why they strive so far away. So yeah, that's probably a good.
Sorry, I'm down today, y'all.
No, it's good.
Aren't Blizzard gonna feel rushed because of what Riot just produced? Like all the shit that's coming out now for them. You know what I'm saying?
In my opinion, they have to either release it before or wait like a year after Riot releases theirs and release it then. Like they cannot compete with Riot right now. There's just no way. Blizzard can't compete with Riot. I don't give a shit who says what. Blizzard can't compete with. Honestly, Blizzard can't compete with a new fucking indie startup company that has $50,000 net worth. There's no way they can compete. Riot literally makes games. Riot
makes games. Dude, Blizzard doesn't make games anymore.
Sorry. Blizzard's like, I feel like when they go into a boardroom, here's what they do. They have a whiteboard. And they put, listen, in the center of the whiteboard, they go, okay, guys, I need you to think of a game. And here's the skeleton. I want you to think of it around. And for any game, they put money. Circle money, and they go, all right, take 2 weeks, come back to me when you have it. That's it. It's just that simple.
This is Blizzard you're talking about right now?
Yeah.
You sure, dude? Because it sounds a lot like Bethesda. Just saying.
And them, okay. It's just like,
dude, oh my
these
God,
companies don't realize that if in the middle of the circle that begins the chart, if it's something else, if it's staying true to their core values, their original games, the money will come. The problem is they're making a game around what makes them money, but they don't realize if they make the game around what started originally their community, that's where the money comes to you. These guys are seeking the money, not letting the money seek them. And that's literally the story of every successful game today. The money seeked them. It took time. Fortnite took time. Fortnite was dead. No one knew what the fuck it was. A couple streamers sponsored by it. It blew up over time. Like the game, realistically, if you look at it, there's no way this game was built thinking of money to start with. This game was dog shit. Every aspect of it before hype, if you look at it without the hype, if you take your drunk goggles off, it's completely trash as far as like graphics and idea go. It's another BR that looks cartoony. Like the money will come to you if you just build a game that you believe in. That's all my honest opinion.
Yeah, we covered this earlier. It's the whole thing that we talked about earlier, where like the department is like way ahead of the actual conceptual creative directors. Like the creative directors are at the mercy of the marketing department. They're like, yeah, you got this idea, but it's not going to be marketable to these. Or I mean,
it might be that the developers just can't make good games. Like it might just be that like everybody's out of tune. You know?
You think so?
I don't know. I mean, like I wonder why.
I don't know. I wonder. I wish I remember where I read this thing and I was like, this actually is a pretty cool idea. You know, right now the current ecosystem and trends of game development are typically that a developer gets consulted by a publisher. The publisher publishes it, and the publisher will front the financing. The developer goes and makes it, but ultimately the publisher retains the IP rights. The developer is kind of like swooned to continue to cooperate with the publisher because they have the rights to the IP and all that, right? And my thing is like, well, what if the developer kept the IP and the power dynamic changed a little bit right there, trying to think of a better example here, but like if the developer kept the IP, not the other way around, then the publisher would have to try to appease more of what the developer wants to do as far as like integrity relevant to their actual core game vision, and not have the marketing department just run rampant with like making it as monetary and marketable as possible. I don't know. Maybe I'm making it a little too complicated to explain here, but like you rarely see, for example, whenever Bungie had the fallout with Destiny the game and Activision, you saw Bungie actually keep the IP, right? And that's rare for a developer to have that much bargaining power on a developer publisher split.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they would bring more, bargaining on the developer side and make games like less, this whole AAA bubble like less, obvious, I guess, or less transparently toxic for everyone involved here, minus the high level executives.
Here's the problem, okay? What you just brought up, Triax, just give me a fucking idea so good I want to jerk you off. Okay, listen.
Ooh, what's up, baby?
You brought up Bungie, okay? Bungie is a perfect example of, okay, so here's what I feel like happens, okay? One company hits off, and you have every other company trying to replicate what the other company did. And that's what makes their games strive away from their core, because they don't have the consistent values and confidence in their own game. So instead, they jump to the next hype thing, not realizing they're now competing with a game that is far ahead of them because they started it. Bungie is a good example of this. Halo has stayed consistent to its core until Halo 5, when they introduced the fucking Call of Duty jetpacks and the Call of Duty running system. Now, if you watch this, if you think about this, this is all they realistically added that's big, and it almost ruined them. People still shit talk that little addition. So what that shows you is you need to stay true to your game, and eventually when the other hype wave ends, people will come back to the original game they started with. The problem is these games are adapting to the games that are blowing up in the moment, and when that hype dies, these games are also shit. There's no game to go back to. They need to stay true to their core, and Halo 5 is a great example. One additional change, it caused a shitstorm. Stay true to your Halos, stay true to your game, and over time, people will come back. The same thing works with streaming, right? A new streamer comes to the platform. Hype is breaking off. People lose view count. People lose average viewers. Guess what? 2 months later, when the hype dies, all those viewers come back. But if you change to try and do what the other person's doing in that moment, no one's going to come back to you because someone's done it first and better. It's like such a simple logic that so many companies overlook, in my opinion.
So simple. Yes, true. Very true.
Counter-Strike's the ultimate example, brother. You're going down your Counter-Strike journey now. The format ain't changed in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, sure, the little aspects of it guns have, but the core of the game has been the same for 20 years because the core of the game is fucking amazing.
Yes. Counter-Strike has stayed true, and now it's slowly coming back, and it's fucking amazing. It's great. And that's the consistency you need, in my opinion. It can't get any worse. If you're already a popular game, it can't get any worse if you stay consistent to how you kept your game. If you take the risk to try and evolve to what games are today that everyone's hyping about, you're going to lose. It's just a big mistake gaming companies make.
Every game has a battle royale now.
Yeah,
even CS does, actually.
It's fun though. It's understandable.
Dude, I'm gonna be
like that. People like the competitive aspect of BRs, and H1Z1 was so fun. Shit like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. This game is super underrated, but I really liked Realm Royale. It's
right. It was good.
Holy shit!
Yes,
that was actually a good game.
So good.
Yes,
it was. What happened to that?
It was Fortnite without building. Literally, it's Fortnite without building. It was fucking phenomenal, dude.
That was actually. It was so different from everything else.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand why that didn't.
Dude, it's like huge. Okay,
it's because it was high res.
Exactly. They had something so good, and then they completely changed the game on a patch. And I like they sucked a fart so huge. I have never even heard. I can't even imagine how fucking hard that game failed. Oh my god.
I don't know how they do it, man. High res, like I like them. I like all the people who work there. They used to be based in Atlanta, where I used to live, so we used to hang out quite a bit, and. I agree. I think they really had something with fucking Realm Royale. I mean, 100%. All of their games are derivative to some extent. I mean, there's a big myth that they ripped off Overwatch for, what was it, Paladins, was it? Is that their equivalent? Mm-hmm. But, like, it weren't. Like, they were developing that before, you know? Yeah. There's a lot of games like that. But anyway.
Ring of Elysium, shout out.
Yeah.
Underrated.
But they got some fucking, like, you know, they got some guys over there who just, like, when things are going good, they always seem to know how to put a pin in it and fuck it up. I've never understood. Like, it's not Activision Blizzard levels, but they never get the success in the first place, so maybe it is worse, you know?
It's because here's my opinion on what happens. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's because they get too caught up. So, for example, Fortnite, in my opinion, took off for one simple thing. Luck. The right timing, all that good stuff, it took off. Because realistically, all the BRs that dropped at the same time, they weren't originals, right? It was luck and it was timing. And when Realm Royale sees this, they want that same instant gratification, and they think if their game's good, it should receive it. But the problem is they've set an expectation that's unrealistic. So what happens is they slowly go off path of what they wanted their game to be, and they try to transition it to what the game that's taken off is, and they lose full sight on the game's true values. And that's the biggest thing I think I see messing up. Another good example is, which me and Destiny, I think, have had our best times in our friendship, is Call of Duty Blackout. We've literally, I think, had our best moments in our friendship in Call of Duty Blackout.
Fuck, that game was so fucking
I mean,
good.
to this day, there's one clip of him and I that I think that's a clip that's going to keep him and I friends when we have kids, right? Like, our kids might not be able to, sleep over each other's houses or hang out very much because, our views are so different, but we'll still be friends while we have kids. So I was making a joke about it. It was an earlier fight we got into. But the point is, like, we've had our best times in that game. Literally, the best times in that game. And I miss them. I miss queuing with Destiny. I miss fucking going to his chat, hoping he ditches Mr. Mooten for me, and he never did. But once in a while, he'd queue quads, and it was a great time, dude.
Yo, you can play with other people. Mr. Mooten only has Destiny, like, so, like, come on.
Dude, I used to go on his chat, hoping Mr. Mooten had to go, dude. This motherfucker had never had to go. Dude, I waited so long. Hey, Mooten, listen, next BR that comes out, listen, dude, I get Destiny. Yeah, Blackout was good.
Yo, some of the clips you guys had were fucking.
They were really good. Yeah.
Those were
hilarious, man.
Amazing clips. Have you uploaded that to YouTube, Destiny? The Call of Duty clip or no?
I have no idea.
Dude, I feel like one of us could have gotten at least a couple 100,000 views on that thing. I really feel like we could, if one of us did it in that moment, easily. But we're both too lazy, I think. What happened to Blackout? What happened to that fucking game? The last time I saw it was all red.
Fucking dollars.
True.
Well, that and then a new Call of Duty came out. So
the queues got really
Blackout
long.
died super fucking hard because it was weird.
No, it was
That
it was
too,
like 4 or 5 months. I felt like you were suddenly on servers were like 50 people or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like on PC it really struggled to stay alive for long. And it's a shame, man, because I actually definitely preferred it to where PUBG was at that time. It was a lot more fun to play. It was a lot more high tempo.
I might just be too PTSD'd from my DayZ days, but I just can't get into PUBG's movement system. It's just too much for me. Things like Apex or Call of Duty are so much more up my alley now.
But
I think Blackout's better than Apex, though.
Oh, easily.
I preferred it to Apex. I mean, Apex is a lot different, but I definitely preferred it.
Apex is, Apex. There's something like
a lot of people saying false in the chat, man. Apex never chimed with me at all.
Apex is a good game,
expecting a good thing, but like, fuck, dude, I thought that game has a lot of problems. Like, for real.
I liked it.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I saw this in chat, so I'm stealing it from this guy, but he's completely right. I think Apex won because it was free. Like, this is the biggest.
For sure, it helps a lot. Yeah,
it's the biggest issue with Blizzard Activision. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Like, these guys are thinking 20 years ago. They just like if there's one thing, like, why is it they try to adapt their games to other things, but they refuse to adapt their fucking subscription-based trash? Like, I don't understand. If you're gonna adapt your games and try and fucking fit in with the new wave, at least change your goddamn subscription base and change your $60 fucking paywall. Make one game fucking free, and I promise you, your viewer base will fucking double. Like, what the hell is wrong with these people?
It's their model that works. They release a game, they don't really care to support it much because they know they're gonna have another one rolling out in like 10 months. So it's like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yo, Train, I gotta go early tonight, baby boy.
All right. We're probably wrapping up in 30 minutes anyways.
Okay.
No worries, dude.
Anyway, I love you.
All right. Love you.
Take care, Andy, man. Good to see you.
Later, Andy. Always good to see you, man.
Good night.
Yeah, I played Ring Fit Adventure earlier. Dude, I am crashing now. I ate some cereal. I'm done. I should go to, honestly. Hopefully, I've done enough mandated.
You have. It was a great time having you, brother. Yo, guys, twitch.tv/ Andy Milonakis, twitch.tv/ Trihex. Make sure to check them out. All positive
good to be on the
vibes.
podcast again when you try, man. You take care, brother. Be well.
Much love, everyone. Yeah. Big brain podcast as always. I'll try to come through next week if my schedule's still bad, but I don't know, it's hard whenever it's this late, dude. I'm obviously on some degen shit right now, so love y'all. See y'all soon.
Love you, brother.
Have a good night.
We're gonna wrap up in about 30 minutes, anyways.
Train, have you ever thought of like running an early stream? Like, have you ever thought about switching your schedule?
Well, here's the problem. So it sounds good, but it would depend on, because almost every streamer that comes on the show, they stream like the middle of their stream or starting of their stream is like 4, 5, 6 p.m. So if I started at like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., people are gonna have to just fully cancel their stream. Whereas, like, I think a lot of people feel better, like especially consistent streamers and the bigger streamers that are on the show. They want to get one stream in that day. They don't want to cancel everything for the podcast and lose one of their days for their community. So I think this allows everyone that comes on, right? I mean, except for maybe you and a few others that don't really stream too often. And when you do stream, I think it's way earlier in the day, right? Like noon, 1 p.m.
Yeah, in the morning.
Yeah. So if people like streamed like earlier, like they all stream noon and they finish by like 5, 6, then yeah, I'm down to try it once and do a 7 p.m. podcast. But I think we'd lose a lot of people. It's already hard enough getting people on at 10 because they're all midstream still. If you notice, everyone that comes on, they end up hosting, and they end up ending early to host. So I don't know how that would work.
No, I mean your schedule. Like if you considered streaming in the morning. Have you ever like had a normal schedule?
Yeah, I
like,
did. No, I've never. No. So even before like all the good stuff, I streamed 8:30 PST. Back in California, I streamed 8:30. I was always late to that too. So that's 10:30 CT, and I was late to that. So yeah, I just moved time zones, so it seemed like I went live at 8:30, but that was 8:30 PST. I streamed. There was like 3 or 4 times where I had a fucked up sleep schedule, so I ended up sleeping, and I had to do a double stream. So I would stream at like 10 a.m. And those streams were, dude, man, I'm missing out. I'm a fucking complete dumbass. I went live at 10 a.m. and streamed till like 2 p.m. And that was like my highest solo view count. I've never pulled the view counts I've pulled during the noon time slot, and that's with everybody live than I have at night. So I'm making a big mistake, but I think this is where the community's at now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have established a time for this, dude. Like, I'll be honest. Like, even for me, it's pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And I'm on the West Coast, but fortunately, like, I just got nothing going on in my life. So
yeah, if I do a regular stream, like my regular stuff, then it usually blows up in the daytime. But if I do like a sponsored game, then yeah, it's gonna be dead in the daytime. But that's even if I did it at night, it'd be dead. You know what I'm talking about? Those
I just feel for functional people like Trihex.
Dude, I have a full-time job during the day. This is fucking savage. Like,
come on, man. You call it a full-time job. Like, your full-time job is, hey, Twitch, I'm a CEO. Like,
oh yeah. Well, that's what chat thinks my full-time job is. Yeah, but you're right.
No, I know the truth. I know the truth, mate. Twitch chat tell me the truth. They wouldn't lie to me, right? So,
they wouldn't. No, they got it. LSF knows too. Turns out. They got me pegged, dude.
100%. Those are the best candies, by the way, JCG. The Zowers.
Does anyone come to your guys' house for trick or treating?
Yeah, I was just saying earlier, man. I had like,
oh, that's right. You almost punched a guy.
No. Whoa. Now you doing an LSF shit on me, brother. Don't do that propaganda. I just looked at him weird. Like,
he doesn't punch people, he chokes them out.
Yeah, I was getting. Listen, right? There was that one time I acted in self-defense, and motherfuckers ain't stopped talking about it for 5 years.
That's how it is.
Like, because what am I meant to do? Confrontational, dude. You like.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question on this motherfucking podcast? Right.
Here we go.
Everybody, right? Like, I don't know if I don't know enough about Michaela and JC. Like, I don't know if people ever like try and attack you or whatever, right? But I went to I went to an event I was working at, right? And this guy misunderstood a tweet I made, thinking I'd insulted his girlfriend, but I hadn't. I'd insulted my mate's mother, which ain't his girlfriend, right? But he misread it and got upset. So he kept saying he was going to come backstage and fuck me up. And I'm working. I'm at the event. I'm hosting the thing, right? So because he was well known himself, he got backstage and he was shouting and screaming. And he came up to me, right? And I'll use the mic to illustrate it. So this mic is like my forehead, right? He came in, he did that. So,
I hate that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So what I did was I gave him, because you get taught this when you ever worked as a doorman or whatever, you give just 2 thumbs, bink, go away. Like it really, like it takes you so aback. Yeah. That's all I did. For 5 years, I've had to listen to a lie that I choked a man who was just innocently doing nothing. That's what people say about me. So I just want to ask y'all, if a guy did that to you, what would you all do? And then just if it turns out I am an asshole, I will accept it here and now on Train's podcast.
Wait. So I'm sorry. Like, say that one more. Not the entire thing. So I was daydreaming. I'm a retard.
No, don't worry about it. It's probably my accent, right? I get it.
No, it's not the accent. Actually, for being non-American, you're not the worst. I've just...
Thanks.
Well, no, not you. No, you're not.
No. Listen, I was living for that. Thanks, darling. Appreciate it.
Anyone that's not NA is terrible. Just
no. Yeah. Bad teeth as well. Yeah.
It's It's a K-Kona type of world. No, but sorry. Repeat your question again. Like,
so what I'm saying is, right? If somebody came up to you, right, and this is you, and this is them, and they did that to you in your head, right, and you pushed them away, who's in the wrong?
They are. Why touch me? Don't put your hands on me. What the fuck? I'd beat the fuck. I wouldn't even.
Yo.
You stop there? No.
Richard. Here's the problem. Okay, I'll drop it for you. Okay. It comes down. Okay, so you are similar to me, right? You're very like you're outgoing. You're very like you have this vibe to you that's very. It's almost like intimidating, almost, right? Like it's like people, you know. Does that make sense? So what happens is when you do it, people need something on you to justify their fear of you. They need to justify their hate of how you are, and they're gonna keep that. That's all they have for now. So they're gonna keep that. They'll talk about it for the next 10 years if they need to. It's just how it is, right? If you were some like, you know, if you were let's say, there's certain people in the world where like they have like a very innocent, positive vibe look. On the inside, they could be everything people judge of you on the outside. But on the outside, they're very trusting. They're very, you know, good vibes. Those people, that person could do the same thing you just did. And not only would people let it go, but they'd praise him for it. He'd be on the front page of, you know, putting the bully in his place. You know, there'd be 6 articles of how this person stepped up and stood up for himself. That's just how the world works. It's how it is, right? So since you have this like, you know, I don't want to say douchey, but like since you have that kind of, you know, cocky vibe to you, that's how it's always going to be. Like,
holy shit, man, this is like the worst intervention I've ever been to.
No.
So
listen, no.
She's got my accent and my teeth.
No.
You're saying I'm a douchebag.
No, you're not.
You're gonna bring out an ex-girlfriend. All right.
Listen,
it was that one time I came too soon. Like, what we talking
Listen,
about?
I'm not saying you're a douche. I'm saying there's a vibe that most people attribute
You just have
to
a douche
that.
aura, is what he's saying.
Right.
No, it's the same as me, dude.
Way better.
It's the same as me, dude. Like for example, in high school, senior year, I actually got a moment with the kid that started all the rumors and all the shit that like picked on me, and he answered why he didn't like me, and he literally said the first day of school when I transferred, he said he didn't like how I walked with my head up high, and I had this confidence to me, and he said ever since then he wanted to bring me down. Some people like have that view on you, right? Especially when you're very outspoken and you're just confident to say whatever you want. That's how it is. Like some people just have to live with it. And that's what I've learned, at least, right?
That kid probably became a Twitch chatter, dude.
Yeah,
true.
honestly.
So what would you have done, Dev?
He's in chat wrapping it up.
I would have very calmly stepped away and written an article to Deserto immediately, via email to inform them of the infraction.
Lies, though.
Okay, I mean, I think, okay, a guy like comes up to me at an eSports event and puts it. I can't say what I would have done. I don't know. What did you?
You're missing a big part. It's not even just that, but he tweeted like, "Okay, well, I'll see you backstage." Like,
yep.
Oh,
he told me he was coming,
even
dog.
Talking shit beforehand. It was real.
Yeah, he literally told me he was coming, and I made a joke. I made a joke about it. I said like, "Listen, you'll be able to find me really easy because I'm still working this event because his team had got knocked out earlier, right? So that just made me even more fucking ass pained." So the worst thing is as well, this guy was so ashamed of the fact he's going bald. When he did it,
this is like first generation.
No, listen, because he's known, like, because Lode is known for having a baseball cap on all the time because he's ashamed of his own fucking baldness, right? Like me, I embrace it. I don't give a fuck. Shaved his head. Like, yeah, I'm going bald. Dig it, right? He turned his baseball cap round just so he could put his forehead on my face. Like, but he kept the hat on, mate.
So how did it go from you pushing him to like this whole narrative of like?
Well, Richard Lewis did a little bit more than
out.
pushed him, to be fair.
No, that ain't true, man. You know, I told you about it. I remember lying and exaggerating a little bit because we did an unfiltered afterwards, and I was like playing it up, going like I could have sent him asleep or whatever. Like, but the reality is, like, all the witnesses that were there, they all said like it was just a push, it was just this, it was just that, you know. But like, unfortunately for me, the team he played for was owned by Twitch, so.
Oh shit! Oh, it was those days.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you had proof technically because he tweeted that to meet backstage or whatever, right? Couldn't you have shown them that?
Well, it doesn't matter even if someone is threatening you.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah,
Fans,
you know, like, but this is why I didn't get arrested. The police were there, see. Right. So just to tell you what they also did to me, DreamHack, the tournament organizers, they pushed me outside and said, don't worry, we're going to make this go away. And I was outside for 30 minutes and then they brought me back in and went, right, we've called the police. I was like, hang on. You ain't fixed nothing here. Like, you just made sure I couldn't get my story in first. And by then, Loader and his missus, who worked for Alliance and Twitch at the time.
I think it was Kelly, right?
Kelly Milky's, yeah. They fucking tweet, yeah, I know. I ain't saying nothing. I gotta be careful about that. But they tweeted out publicly like, "Oh, Richard Lewis tried to strangle my boyfriend," and all. So I'm like, wait, like that didn't happen, no. So I got fucked on that. But because they took my phone off me and said, "Stay out here, we're gonna make this go away," and then I came back in and I was like, right, it's all gone away now, hasn't it? And they're like, nah, police are coming and you're getting wrecked on Twitter. I was like, hang on, this is not what I wanted at all. So I've had to live with it for 5 years, like. But I'm just saying, like, I've never met anybody who says that's fair game. Like, because
it's not.
No, even
not.
Destiny.
No, if the guy touches you, I mean, people want. I mean, like, when you're a public figure, people want you to say you have to be a bigger man, walk away. But realistically, in the heat of a moment, through the actual experience,
he's more famous than me.
Yeah, if someone touches you, like
me. Yeah. Like, he won a fucking... Didn't he win a TI? Or did he get a runner-up at TI?
Wait, who are you talking about? Are you talking about... Wait, who...
Loda.
Wait, Loda that plays Dota?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did win a TI with Bulldog.
Yo, he won a TI and he tried to fucking beat me up because he misread a tweet. No joke, bro. That's like what I'm saying. Like, I just bring out the worst in people. I ain't even trying to bring it up. Yeah, man.
The funniest part was the... Maybe I just have a bad domestic abuse history. He tried to tweet out a fucking tweet with how fucked up he got. And it was like this little, it almost looked like a hickey on his neck. It was the, man, dude, I don't know. Listen, like, Richard Lewis 100% was in the wrong fighting him and attacking him and all that shit. But, like, I'm a real big, like, if you give it, like, come on, dude. You can't talk shit to somebody. If I talk shit to you on Twitter and I say fucking find me backstage and I get my ass lit up, like, I mean, fuck, that's on me, dude. Like, I'm not about to, I would be ashamed to try to report that to you. Like, all right, man, I talk shit, I got fucking knocked out. Like, that's it. Like, all right, man.
Yeah, but I had two shots, right? So these are the two outcomes, like, in your choose your own adventure, right? I let Loader beat me up and I get dropped. And then I listen for the rest of my career about how Loader knocked me the fuck out at the event, right?
It's a lose-lose.
I am not listening to that, by the way.
It's a
You got knocked out by a Dota player. Or I give
Yeah.
him a little tiny little love tap to the neck and tell him, calm down. And man, I'm like fucking, I'm a mass murderer. I'm Jack the Ripper at eSports. It's bullshit.
Yeah, dude. Like, there's like the stories of you are like you're fucking like the Jason Bourne, dude. Like, you just like took a guy out.
Do I look like fucking Jason Bourne, mate? Like, I'm about 40 pounds overweight and fucking. I mean, by the way, when Michaela was telling that story and she went, "Yeah, back in the day when my mother was 36," I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, holy shit. Michaela,
Yeah. How old am I,
I was thinking
motherfucker?
that
Like,
too.
My mom had me when she was 19. I'm 20.
Even so, Jesus.
I just turned 21, so.
Michaela, you remind me of the chick from the Valkyrie chick in Thor.
Really?
Yeah, you've got like the same like cool person, like badass personality, you know, like the fighter.
Oh, I thought you were thinking of like the Fairly Odd Parents kind of.
Nah.
Person.
and
The
you look
chick that's
really
the
good in the
Valkyrie.
kid's
Yeah.
mask with the
Yeah.
chin out the end. Like, it's fucking-
All right, thanks.
that's
thank
some
you.
good. No, that's a compliment, legit, man. You rock that shit.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I usually don't get compliments, so thanks.
That's
thanks.
sad.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't sip over that. No. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
No worries. I'm a nice guy, really deep down.
Some guy in chat says Destiny needs to
You're not a
talk.
nice guy. You choke people. I'm sorry,
What's he
dude.
saying?
Desert those strikes
Don't know
again,
what to
man.
tell you. I
Yo,
don't
I got
know.
He's playing Kenshi right now.
The tabloids got me.
He's very busy.
I'm talking. Hey, chill.
He's been talking. Good amount.
Yeah, a good amount.
Yeah.
True.
No, if you don't talk for 2 minutes, Train's chat says, "Good one, Destiny forehead" or something. Good,
Yeah.
good one, Kayla.
They're just
forehead.
cheering you on. That's all.
Yeah.
Stop yelling.
They're just supporting you and everything that you say.
All right. Well, last topic, and we'll wrap it up. So someone else went to Mixer, but it was overshadowed by Shroud. Have you guys heard of King Goliathan? I don't want to be rude. I haven't, so I don't know who that is. I'm hoping one of you guys will fill me in.
He was really big with Destiny 2. Mm-hmm. Really big. Created the whole community for Destiny 2 and took off with. I actually found out about that a couple of days ago because I've been no-lifing Destiny 2 and I had no idea until recently. So
He's like a really positive, like brand-friendly streamer, dude.
good dad jokes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which, if you notice the trend, is what Mixer is picking up, right? They're picking up like very hello fellow kids type of people.
Yep.
And you're probably going to see more of that. Would be my guess.
Jesus.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's gonna be Tim.
You think so? Well, like, so I
An
put down like a
actual
whole list
dad.
of people that it could like. So who's on that list? Tim, Doc, Pokey.
Doc's going nowhere.
You think
I'll tell
Doc's
you
No,
that.
going
no,
nowhere?
I feel like
100%.
I think he'll end up moving because he doesn't like Twitch. He constantly calls them out. I feel like if
But it's
Mixer
hard to
gives him a genuine
It's hard to tell
offer-
which is Doc and which is the character, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew Doc before he got big. Not that that's like a huge thing, but I really, really think if they gave him a good offer, he would leave. Like,
Especially, I actually agree with Michaela because he also has a family and a kid. And
Sure.
you would think that he would want to just kind of retire and just kind of spend time with them and focus around that, maybe, right? And then play games on, Mixer every now and then. So, like, I think with him, it might...
like in a nice way. I think his ego's maybe a bit too big for that right now because he realizes where he is celebrity-wise. I think how he retires from Twitch ain't to go to Mixer. I think how he retires from Twitch is to try and get involved in like acting, wrestling, TV. Like you already see him do that.
that WWE thing.
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
whatever?
you already see him do that.
Yeah.
So that's the direction he's going in because he's got the talent and the chops to do that. But some of the streamers, listen, I think as well, by the way, do you remember when Doc started doing, like, the whole bit about Mixer as if I'd ever dare go there? I think that's literally the day he started getting his paycheck from Twitch to stay. That's probably, if you were to backdate it, 100%. But I think as well, like, Tim's a legit guy to go and exactly what they're looking for that Halo launch. 100% I think he goes. Pokey's a little bit more of a long-term play, but there's been too much chatter about whether or not she's getting a contract over there, and trust me, if the numbers are good, she would definitely go in a Mixer 100%. So, and it would be a big loss for Twitch, I honestly think.
I think
with
any
Pokey
munition
is-
would go before Pokey. That's
Well,
my
Pokey
personal
has
opinion.
so much money she makes off of like non-Twitch things. Like she has like her
Exactly.
I really wish I had the numbers on how much she makes off that Pokey palette shit. I think she probably is killing it on that makeup stuff. Oh man, she must be making so much. My marketing bones just shake all over. It's just the tingling.
Nah, her team is like unbelievably smart. Having that Amazon TV series, having that makeup box, like all of that stuff is just incredible.
Wait, Amazon TV series, what is that?
She has like
got
a
her own- yeah.
She has like a series. She has like a how to be what is it, Richard? It's like a
This
be a
Streamer
streamer,
Life or something it's called,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it, with Pokemon, like something like that. I ain't never watched it, ain't gonna lie. I've seen it keeps popping up in my recommends. Amazon pushing that shit hardcore. But like there's some good content for you, Train. Instead of watching Gordon Ramsay, right, when we get this Amazon Prime life going on, you can watch Pokemon's
Pokey.
TV show on Twitch, courtesy of Amazon, and react to it. That'll be some real shit.
But I really think Doc would consider it. He's already set. I remember
I'm
right,
pissed again.
he used to play or he designed some Call of
Maps
Duty
and
stuff
COD,
back
yeah.
in the day.
That's right.
So he has to have a decent amount like from there to begin with, right?
I don't think that job paid for shit. Not because Doc is bad or anything, but just to be like a map designer or whatever. I seriously doubt that job paid like bank.
Game devs fucking wreck you
Yeah.
for salary.
Well, I don't think
I agree with
he's
you.
kidding about leaving. I don't think
I think he
it'll
would.
be
I think he would
anytime
leave if the
soon.
money was right.
Yeah, I
But-
don't think it's soon. I think in a few years, if Mixer really did what they're supposed to do, he would leave. Like,
I think Doc is one of the very few content creators on this site that like transcends like just being a streamer. Like he has a powerful brand, a recognizable character. If Twitch lost Doc, that would be astounding to me. I would be shocked. That can't happen.
but he
Yeah,
wasn't
they're
even
definitely
going
to pay to keep him. I think so, 100%. But not just that though. I think the kind of thing that would tempt him away ain't necessarily broadcasting on another platform. But like say again, Activision came in and said, "Hey, we're gonna design a Call of Duty," but Activision's a bad example actually. Let's say a new game startup came up and said, "We want you to make a battle royale called Disrespect or something." Like, I could see him going to do that. because I think it would combine all of his skill set, all of his knowledge, and put him front and center to make a lot of fucking money.
No, I don't think that would work because half of his content is complaining about how shit the game is he's playing, and if it was his
which is why you must make. Yeah, he knows how to make a good one. See,
they all say that.
Cusses out all the rivals. You feel me? So yeah, I agree with you. Like, there's a lot of amusement in him, like cussing out other games that he plays. As part of the charm. But I think if he went and made his own, there'd be no excuses for it being bad, right? So
I want to ask you guys this. Do you think Ninja in his prime, in his hype, in bringing Twitch to a whole new place, going on different news stations in his prime, do you think Twitch would have fought harder for him? Because that changed Twitch entirely from what it was before. Think they would have fought for him versus
who, Ninja?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Before like right on the precipice of his blow up. Which brought so much to Twitch. Like, what he did is just priceless. Do you think they would have paid more?
I have no idea. It's hard to
say. I think that's a very difficult question to answer, and I think the reason is that there's no way to really gauge like what he blew up in a way like no one's blown up.
No one ever has. Yeah,
it's ridiculous, and it's not overnight. He did grind for like fucking years.
It was just the right moment. It was the right moment.
Like, you point to me a streamer who's like grinded for like 9 years doing the same fucking thing.
Well, the only one I can actually think of is Dr. Disrespect.
Dr. Disrespect, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go back to like the Dr. Disrespect old school videos that are like, dude, if you ever want to change your life, dude, do some mushrooms and go look at like 9-year-old Dr. Disrespect videos, and you will like travel to a different dimension.
Responsibly. Don't actually do mushrooms. Don't actually do mushrooms. Do not do mushrooms. Yes.
Yeah. Or just don't, but do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you, man. I think that's a very good point. Like, I think those people, they hone, like for Ninja, like Dr. Disrespect honed his craft and his character. Ninja was around long enough to get the perfect storm, and he's capitalized on that in a way that not many streamers know how to. So very different types of success, but it just happens once in a blue moon. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
all right, boys,
good for him though. Honestly, I mean, who else would you want it to be at the end of? I mean, I can't think of another streamer except for Doc, but he's a little too old to be. Like,
I mean, we're not at the same. We're not necessarily at the same scale or time scale, like in terms of maximum popularity or like time scale. But I think Tyler One's story is just hilariously fucking crazy stupid.
Yeah, it is, but it's like at the same time, it can be a risk because he's so
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying in terms of acquisition. I just mean in terms of hilarious story. To get blackballed, fucking Christ! This guy had how many permabanned accounts on League and is like now like doing That's fucking.
Now he's a caster.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
he's League's golden boy. Like those.
Yeah, that's hilarious, dude. That's insane.
The way Riot treated him was outrageous. Like, I do want that.
That's pretty fucking toxic.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm not saying Tyler weren't toxic. But like, at the end of the day, here's what you do. Someone's bad on an account, you ban the account. What they were doing behind the scenes was they were saying to Twitch, like, legit, you can't let him play League on your platform. He cannot be the first thing people see. And it's like, that's too far, man. Like, you've gone way overboard. That thing with that Riot employee Sanjuro saying like he'll be dead from testicular cancer. Nah, this is fucked up. And they went so far with it and so far with demonizing him and hating him, that actually paid, because they looked like to the whole community like, yeah, Tyler is a raging guy in games. You're saying you wish he was dead. You're accusing him of steroid use publicly, shit like this. Nah, they had to walk it back. So I'm glad Riot are a bunch of fucking ridiculous zealots, because that actually opened up this beautiful, like, redemption arc for him.
I don't think
it's a great story.
No, I mean, I'm not trying to be a piece of shit saying this, but Tyler said some fucked up things in the past. Like he genuinely, like, Riot wasn't stupid when they were like, okay, this guy needs to be taught a lesson. He literally had an int list on his computer.
None of I remember him bringing up the notepad.
People's lives are going to
video game. That is,
and he would actually do it too. He would actually literally do it every game. Like that, I don't think that.
And stream it.
I don't think Riot was wrong at all for that. I think the amount of time it was banned maybe was a little crazy, but like even his old tweets and just the all that, it was bad at the time. So I can understand. But now it's a great thing because look at his story. You have a guy who used to tell devs to die, and now he's.
I feel like
he's spamming "fuck you, Riot," "fuck you, Riot" 50 million times
Riot.
on Discord.
Yeah, during the stream, he's saying "fuck you, Riot devs" for this shithole game, and
I feel like Tyler 1 is like the true Dark Knight, like the hero that they need but don't deserve. Like it was like when Riot was big and the game was just popping. They could like they were doing so well, and then like the game starts declining, and they just like slowly look over at Tyler 1, and they're like, "Oh no, this is the only way."
You know, just to make it clear though, it's not like Riot were handing out fair bans. You know what will happen to I Will Dominate? They banned him from all professional play for a year from saying at an after party that a skin that had been designed, a cosmetic, looked shit. And they banned him from pro play for a year from that, hid that, covered it up. I was telling people at the time, no one believed me. They said, you're just biased against Riot. I'm like, no, that's legit. He came out and told the story. So fuck Riot, man. That's outrageous.
They are 50-50 with, like, how they ban people. Like, when it comes to toxicity and shit. It's not fair. Like, what other person do you know would ban indefinitely, like
XJ9?
Well, come on.
I mean,
don't compare Tyler to that crazy motherfucker. He was someone else, dog.
Yeah, Jensen, but I mean, I'm saying it's very rare that someone gets indefinitely banned from League of Legends for the shit they do.
Over multiple accounts, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's a cool story. Like, it's awesome to see him be as big as he is now, and Riot, seriously, sucks his dick like hard. But I mean, oh well.
We got to get another one of those Tyler 1 tourneys. That was a great cast. I think a good time.
Train. Well, wait. Let me think if I can say this. Well, we were just watching the one you casted, and Tyler liked it a lot. So I'll just.
Hey, I'm coming back, baby.
No. I didn't say that. I'm just saying we were watching the casters. It was just funny. It's funny how you didn't know a single thing that was happening, and you were just like, you're like, yeah, that's pretty true. Rises R is insane. Yeah, that's
Dude,
awesome.
I'm telling you, I have it. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I have a. Listen, I can cast. I can cast some games. Like if someone brought me on, I will be a caster for a. I'm telling you.
It was the funniest thing. We were crying. You just said the rant. Like Dom and them would have a regular conversation about what's going on, and you just said the stupidest shit. Like, yeah, I agree. I concur. I concur. Like, oh, it was great. I love it.
That was such a fun time, and I think I was fun. Like that was actually, I think that was the start. That was one of the starts to my X to Y. Because I'm almost positive I farmed at least 1,000 Twitch primes from. Like that was the start to X to Y. If anyone's wondering, that was like when I'm like, damn, this was man. I got like 1,000 Twitch primes just X to Ying, and that was the start. That was when it started right there. I started X to Ying from that point on. It was great, dude.
That was great. That was so good.
Great time, yeah.
Good
that was
job.
a fun tourney. That was great. But anyways,
did you actually
and also
like it?
I did. And here's the other thing I really liked. And here's the other thing I really liked. And I appreciated Tyler and you because I know you for sure talked to him and probably put in a good word or whatever the case might be. But that was right. That was maybe 2 weeks right after the Alinity accusations. And almost every streamer, friend or not, very few had my back. Everyone was staying away from me. So the fact that he knew about that and he still wanted me on and still stayed loyal and consistent and said, hey, I don't give a fuck about it. You're good. He still brought me on. That's what made me like, that's why I fuck with him. Like that was just so real and that was just so good. I appreciated it and I still appreciate it and I still remember it. You have to understand, like
he doesn't care about that stuff. Yeah. Like as long as you're a good person to him or
because that was a bad time. Like that was a really bad time. Everyone was being weird about it. Like it was just it was some fucked up shit going on, and he's like, hey, I don't give a fuck. You're casting.
Yeah,
like, all right.
he really doesn't. He liked it a lot. Like, I'm telling you, it really made him laugh. So.
Yeah, it was a good time. That was a great fucking time. Well, I think that's a good little. That was a good end story to wrap the podcast up, boys and girls. Good stuff. It was really fun. Are any of you guys going live?
Nope. Bedtime Train. It's like
live in bed. Like
I've seen Destiny do some random lives at this time. Sometimes he
Destiny,
can't sleep.
go for another 2 hours of Kenshi, buddy. Let's go.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. Well.
You've been enjoying that Kenshi game?
That's so fun.
But you shouldn't play it if you care about your viewers. I've wasted so much fucking time on this game.
Nah, listen, I started playing it like way back when it was getting developed because I thought it might be a good thing, but like a good replacement from RimWorld or whatever. But I stopped, but that was like many patches ago, so I don't know how good it is now. But I saw you were playing it, but I might check it out, man.
Yeah,
it's pretty damn good.
What is Kenshi? What is that? Is it just like a RTS?
So you know, like any games like Factorio or like
Oxygen Not Included, or RimWorld or Dwarf Fortress, or...
games where like you basically have to like you start in an area and then you have to like survive for a while.
Yeah, it's brutal at the start, Train, man. You were peasant, right? You got no clothes, even. And you're just getting fucking wrecked like motherfuckers. It's like being a Twitch streamer. No one cares about you. You just straight getting killed like all the time. Like if you're lucky, you get in the city and you get a bowl of soup to eat off some motherfucker. But eventually you survive, you build your way up, and then you straight rolling on these towns with a mandem. You get like 9 other fucking people like straight killing them, and then you get to build your own cities and sell your own soup. But like it's straight up, man. It's just like being a streamer. It's wild as fuck though. You like it.
The character looks so small that I'm watching. Like, the map looks huge compared to when you're running.
It's really micromanaging. You can get like really deep into it, and you'll start to like you have to focus on every single little aspect of your character has to be paid attention to. It's pretty crazy. It really gets intense. It's like and Destiny's right. Like if you care about viewers, like I don't know. I feel like Steven has this like
Fuck 'em.
No, I know that, but I'm saying like you have this like great way. But the funniest thing is like I'm laughing my ass off because it'll be like 3 people arguing in your Discord because like your Discord has kind of become like the streamer place to hang out. So like 3 people arguing in your Discord while you're just playing Kenshi farming content to like 8K viewers, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening, dude?
Don't tell me he's getting less viewers playing Kenshi than he is playing League. Because I don't believe it.
Well, no, because with League, I can't really talk and play League at the same time. Like, because League occupies all of your brain, and when you get mad at League, you need to sit there and be mad as fuck, and everything is ruined. So
no one wants to watch a feeding Draven anyway. There's enough of those.
Good one. Hey, what league are you in? It's.
I haven't played in a long time.
That's what I thought.
Why'd you only play Draven, Steve?
Oh, I like Draven. You got a fucking problem with it?
Come on, man. The whole point of a MOBA is it's a different character all the time. Keep
Fuck
yourself
that shit. People that do that are less.
One trick's so fucking miserable. It's a terrible way to live. Stop it.
It's a way of life.
Nah, you outrageous, sir. You are outrageous, sir.
I don't know how he does it.
No one's enjoying that. Yeah, Kenshi, I bet you get higher viewers than League.
Oh yeah.
And I bet if you did a vote next stream, do you want to watch me like beg for soup in Kenshi or play Draven again in League? Soup.
People would literally vote for me to turn my stream off before playing.
Absolutely. I physically boycott your stream actively when you're playing League of Legends. And I know you don't care. That makes it even worse.
I mean, I tune in here. I tune in here and there. I mean, low key, listen, I kind of miss the, even though, you know, I kind of miss the interactions that you used to have with the people you played with. Like, the toxicity between you and Lily Pichu. Like, that was the cutest, funniest shit ever, dude. Like, I know a lot of people give me hate for that. I know they will. So, you know, but those were some good times, dude. I used to watch that.
We still play. Both of our schedules are just
yeah.
really busy, so it doesn't line up all the time, man.
All right, well, guys, you honestly make my Thursdays just so fucking awesome and just great. I love you guys. Like, there's
yeah, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of just, you know, negative people and negativity everywhere, every goddamn corner of Twitter and Twitch, and just having you guys here and hanging out with you boys, it's just great. It's fucking awesome. Thank you, guys. Huge shout out to Devin Nash, guys. Twitch.tv/Devin Nash. Please go follow him. He has his alerts on right now. Hit the follow button. Twitch.tv/JCG. She's playing some Call of Duty. Hey, good stuff. Go watch her. JCG, spelled how it is on screen. And hey, me and Destiny. Hey, listen, I'm gonna keep it short because I know I suck his cock every ending. But dude, me and Destiny. Listen, there's a few people that want us to quote unquote, be broken up or whatever the fuck you weirdos want to call it. But at the end of the day, we've gone through so many goddamn ups and downs. We could hate each other's views completely, and we could still sit in a room naked and be friends. So at the end of the day, if you're hoping for that, hey, too fucking bad. I am not going to let our friendship burn ever, no matter what fights we get into, I don't give a fuck what happens, unless some serious crazy shit happens. But that's a disclaimer. Other than that, dude, hey, that's my boy right there. Hey, listen, we've been through thick and thin, and at the end of the day, I appreciate you being here, man. I know tonight there's, not many topics you could get in on, but I appreciate you staying nonetheless. Like, to me, I took that as like a respect thing, so I really appreciate it, dude. Like, for me, so I appreciate it, dude. Thank you. And so please follow him. Twitch.tv/Destiny. Huge shout out to huge shout out to Michaela for hanging out with us.
Don't shout out my stream. Don't.
Twitch.tv/Michaela. Please follow her.
You should shout out her stream because after that bullshit ass comment you made, I'm never fucking hosting you again. You motherfucking piece of shit. I'll shut on my fucking league play. That's a permaban in my chat.
Twitch.tv/Michaela. Spelled how it is. Please go follow her. Hey, listen. Anyone that can chill here with like the boys and just chill on this Thursday night, late night, hey, they're one of the boys. They're part of the crew. They're part of Squad W and all the good stuff. Please go give her a follow. And last but not least, hey, listen, Richard, dude.
Thanks, man.
I want to get your ass.
Nice to meet you, by the way,
I want you on as a regular, dude.
Thank you for talking.
I want you on as a regular.
I know I talk too much. Like, it's just
no.
listen, I get brought on the podcast because I talk too much. When I talk too much, all the group says he talks too much. But if I sit here and don't say anything and no one else talks, then what are we doing?
Listen,
So
like, I want you on.
No, you're good.
I want you on as a regular. I want you here every fucking week, dude. I'll put you on goddamn payroll, okay? Like, get your ass here every goddamn week. Like, you're just perfect. It's just a perfect fucking vibe. So I appreciate that.
It's like okay. So I just want to say something as well. Like last time I was on, I didn't get triggered by you, Dev, and I didn't get triggered by Andy. I did get triggered by the chat though. Like I let them get in my head.
Don't read it. Don't read it.
Yeah, I know, and I'm old enough to know better, because apparently I'm nearly as old as Michaela's mother. So like, or maybe older. I don't even know. Like, so yeah, I'm definitely old enough to know better.
It actually gets really tough. Like, the days that I don't read chat, I do way better. Because it does get you. Yeah, it's
no, but why it got in my head was it was like, listen, like when you guys disagree, it's generally respectful, but I was getting agitated with you guys and like saying and being snippy with you over shit that was getting said in chat. So I shouldn't have done that. Like, but I was just like, I was like, fuck, man, like y'all gotta see both sides on this one. Surely,
I've done the same shit, dude. I've done that so many times. And then I go back like after the cast and I think about it. Yeah.
So I just want you to know that it's like it was on my mind. It wasn't why I didn't come back. I had some other shit to do, but like I was worried about doing a podcast with Andy because Andy called me an asshole on the podcast, and I was like, oh, okay. So I thought I upset him, but like it just is what it is, man. Like I never know where the middle line is. Like you either talk too much, you talk too little, you say the wrong thing, you say the right thing. Like whatever, as long as I get invited back.
Dude, you actually did like fucking fantastic today. Like I think you killed it, and like you keep the conversation going. I agree with Tyler when like he says like you should be here on the regular if you want to be. That would be really cool.
Well, I just try and fill a gap. Like I just hate silence because it was like, well, you know, when you do TV and radio and stuff for so long, you get told no dead air. So it's hard for me to sit here if like no one talks for 10 seconds. I do talk. So
yeah, and that's great because Tyler and I talk a lot about like how to like we've been talking a lot about like how to include. Because people talk to varying levels, like some people talk more than others. So like asking questions, I think like we all saw last week when like Moon came on and just like started immediately asking questions. Like Tyler and I are trying to learn from that and shit. So yeah, dude, like it helps a lot.
It's better to talk than not talk at all, honestly, in my opinion. So it's good that you were doing that.
Yeah, I just worry about treading on other people, man. Like it is. So if I did do that tonight, it's not something I ain't gonna go beat myself up about or whatever. You know, it's like. You do worry, especially with people you don't know. Like me and Steven got a shorthand, me and Tyler got a shorthand, me and Dev, we've gone back and forth multiple times. It's all good. But like,
for years.
Whenever there's new people on, like you always worry, like you know, are they waiting for me to shut the fuck up? so if that was happening, yeah, apologize. Like, just saying.
All good, man. No, like,
hi. All right. Yo, Devin, I got to get your ass on payroll too. Thank you for everything you do for this podcast. You guys, hit us.
Thank you,
listen,
man.
boys.
Oh, Train, please do respond.
Yeah. I know.
So
I know what you mean. Yeah.
iTunes.
I will.
Thank you.
I'll do it. Yeah.
I like the hat, by the way, Devin.
Thank you. Yeah,
I like that.
So, yeah, Tyler told me like 3 hours ago, and I was like, we need a costume for the show, and I'm like, all right. And I found this dumbass hat I got from I don't even know where the fuck where.
It's cute. I like it. It's cute.
Yo, but you killed it, Tyler, man. Your costume's outrageous, dude. I hope you're going to hope you're just going outside just to show it to your neighbors or something afterwards.
No, I bought it just for the chat.
If I had a costume not good, I'd be showing it off, you know?
No, dude, I bought it for, I mean, listen, you want to see it real quick before we go? It doesn't fit my face, but dude, they love this stuff. Here you go.
Yo.
You know, I got the whole thing for you. Give me a sec here. There you go.
Who is that?
We're getting the show.
Oh, that doesn't fit my head. Here it is, dude.
Incredible.
Man, that's killer, dude. That's so good.
10 out of 10. Good.
You said that was $80?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's not worth 80.
Yo, I think you got a bargain. Like, am I mental? Like, am I losing my mind? I'd be well happy with that.
Someone give him a Twitch Prime, please.
He needs 100 subs, guys.
Yeah. Where's the oil princess?
Well, speaking of that, actually, boys, we're 4 subs away from a flat 200 new subs. So if you have any Twitch Primes, we just need 4, and then I'll match 200.
Man. Let's get that. 4 fucking subs. Come on. There's an oiler out there. Come on.
Well, here's no. So here's the thing. So for the Halloween, I'm matching all gifted subs, and we're at 196. So 4 more hits 200. I can just give 200. It's flat and easy. But anyways, huge shout out to all you guys. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Thanks for coming on. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you guys.
Happy Halloween.
I'll type to you guys in this chat because I have some big news for a big podcast, and there's limited spots. But you guys have preference, or you guys have priority because you're my regulars. So I'm not gonna let new names that are bigger take precedence over you guys since you're here every week. So I'll give you guys the details, and if you guys can make it, I'll lock your spot in for November. It's actually like a pre-planned podcast, so you have some time to think about it. But anyways, I love you guys. Awesome. Yeah, it's some good stuff. We have some normies, some YouTube, some big stuff, some personalities from all over the place. Richard, to be a great fit for you in Destiny. I love you there as well, and Devin, you're already here no matter what. So anyways,
thank you.
Michaela, JCG, if you guys want to, you can lock in as well. All right. I love you guys. Have a good night.
Including the women.
Have a good night.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, night, guys. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Love Atticus!
Happy Halloween.
Love Atticus! 100 gifted subs!
Yeah!
Love Atticus!
Insane.
Holy shit. Sheets in with the 5.
These are all
holy shit, dude. Hey, boys. Hey, my man. Hey. We have 11,000 now, baby. Hey. All right, guys. I love you guys. Have a good night. Happy Halloween. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Happy Halloween.